Velina mai kako. Welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps it aloha by wearing many different hats while actually wearing no hats at all. I'm your host Kamaka, and think about that one for a second. Our guest today is someone who wears many different hats when it comes to filmmaking, but I never actually seen him literally wear a hat. All hats aside, this guy is a machine and so talented. But before we introduce him, I want to kindly ask if you love this podcast to please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps so much with the algorithm, and I read every single review. And to prove it, I want to share this review from Aloha Sunny 2001. This person says, informative. Love this podcast, and the latest episode is so good. Mahalo, Aloha Sunny 2001 for the awesome 5-star review. Keep listening because this episode is also going to be so good. Last update before we get into our guest intro. As you know, we were supposed to leave for Japan last week, but I was not medically cleared to go. I was very ambitious and was thinking my knee would be healed up in time to make it for the sumo tournament, but I am still on the road to recovery, and my PT highly recommended that I postpone the trip. So it's a bummer. I was really looking forward to going and sharing an episode with Konishiki with you all, but we will definitely do a Japan trip later this year. And it's probably better since, there's a lot of walking in Japan, and my knee is only like less than 2 months out of surgery. So stay tuned for updates on that. All right, let's finally introduce our guest. And get ready, because this is going to be one of the longest intros I've ever written. Our guest today is an award-winning feature film director from the island of Kauai. This man wears many hats, as I said, and not only is he a producer, cinematographer, writer, and creative director, but he is also the founder and CEO of the ECOH, which is a top-tier archival indigenous film studio specializing in theatrical narrative feature films, short films, TV and streaming episodic shows, scripted reality, documentaries, and so much more. This internationally recognized filmmaker worked with Jason Momoa's production company On the Roam as the director of film content. During this time, he created 70 commercials, short films, documentaries, and spotlight narrative profiles with his award-winning documentary, Are Mauna Kea, featured on CNN, and Jason Momoa's Oscar Spotlight, featured in Vogue Magazine. He was also the head of visual marketing, in which he was independently contracted by Warner Brothers for Aquaman, Legendary Pictures' Dune, and the launch of Apple TV+. In 2021, he became the first person in history to complete 2 narrative feature films in 2 years, attaching Academy Award-winning and nominated producers, and securing the largest distribution deal ever for a native Hawaiian filmmaker. His 2 films, Lucy and KAPO, won multiple awards and was nominated numerous times at the biggest indigenous film festivals in the world. This multi-talented Hawaiian is ready to take on the world, and I am so stoked to talk stories with him today. His name is Etienne Aurelius. Aloha, Etienne. Welcome to the Keep It Aloha podcast. How you doing?
I'm so good. I just got pretty emotional. I haven't thought about all those things you've said.
Just listening back to basically all of your accolades, huh?
I don't appreciate them. I just don't think they're anything. And I didn't even think about it once for the new year, nor did I acknowledge that stuff in the end. Correction, KAPO and Peahi. And Lucy is my first short film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in Peahi.
But Lucy also won awards.
Lucy won all 3 awards at Mammoth Film Festival: Best Acting, Best Directing, Best I think it was Written or something like that, which is like a big honor. And then I was nominated for Best Cinematographer in the world for short films, and I lost to an Asian film. But I feel like it was okay because they're from Asia.
Yeah, but
I was honored to be nominated.
2022, that's when Peahi came out, right?
Yeah, it didn't come out yet. We filmed it.
Yeah.
And Lucy was a beautiful
2021 film. Was Lucy.
That was my first thing I've ever made
KAPO.
in my life with narrative directing actors.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
I was scared.
Yeah, and I gotta say, so I met you about a year ago, and so we've become friends.
You're my best friend.
We've been working on some projects, and we got one coming up in, I think, a day or two from when this, actually the next day, if you're listening to this on the Thursday comes out, we have this Ali'i Atlas that Etienne created with 30 monarchs. It's launching at Restaurant Row in Kaka'ako at the Kaka'ako Plaza. Tomorrow on January 17th. So if you're available at 7 p.m., please go check it out. I'll let you give us a little bit more info on that, and then we'll get into your life story.
Yeah, the Ali'i's Atlas is stage 1 of finding Hawaiian identity. What's the quote that Kamehameha said?
For the Liho says, where it's Navai ho'i ka oleo ki akamai, heala I ma'a ka hele ia e umakua, which means who wouldn't be wise on a path walked by our ancestors.
Akamai olelo, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, that's all the gallery signifies right there. And I don't know. I think like I wrote something the other day about being a genius and being considered crazy, or things that are appreciated after you succeed. And I think that like most people who are considered crazy and geniuses are just really good at common sense. You know, they see things that are very hard for everyone else, but it's common sense to them, and it becomes common sense to everyone else once they do it.
Well, your ideas and what you're doing seem crazy until it happens.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for example, hey, I'm going to pay off $53,000 of student loans in 1 year doing a bunch of odd jobs.
Yeah.
That was me in 2020. That's a crazy idea. People are like, wow, that's crazy. You're saying, I'm going to create these huge movies that's going to be distributed worldwide. It's going to win awards. I'm going to create these murals of 30 monarchs, you know? It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy until it's done.
Yeah, seriously. Right? Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. Congratulations on paying that off, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, so the Ali'i's Atlas is our first ever place where we can go and look into the eyes of our ancestors and those people that have come before us. When you go to Washington, D.C., you see all the presidents that have founded America, and Kamehameha is right there, a big statue. I gave a lei when we went with Kaikahele. And when I saw that statue of Kamehameha in the what is it called? Not the White House, but what is that big building called? The council,
I'm not sure.
Whatever, where the senators are at.
Yeah.
State Capitol.
Oh, the Capitol.
Yeah, so we're at the Capitol building, and we're in the rotunda. The rotunda's the big dome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with Kaikahele, and he's just such a politician, you know what I mean? Air Force veteran, Hawaiian Airlines pilot. Now he's the head of OHA, and replaced Mililani Trask. She endorsed him. And he was our United States Senator, Congress representative. Mm-hmm. And he's a very inspiring person. So going there with Kai to Washington, D.C., and seeing Kamehameha's statue is what inspired me to want to make this Ali'i's Atlas. When I looked at America's heroes, and I saw Kamehameha amongst them, and I saw the Navajo and Cherokee, and they were the most badass statues there. They had all the bear claws coming down. I was like, oh, that's a mean fashion, right? And Kamehameha's with his thing. Wow, these are the leaders, man. I was looking at our indigenous leaders, and I was like, wow, these guys look way more bad than the George Washington guys. The style, the ferocity, the primal. And I was like, how come we don't have a rotunda in Hawaii? Mm-hmm. You know, so then when I came back and you're having your gala,
yeah, which you created these shirts for.
Yeah, the Ali'i's Atlas,
sure you guys
right?
can see it in my camera. So beautiful.
They're supposed to signify a cross between like the generals of America and Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Like that's like that's general patches. Because Hawaiians back in the day when the Ohana system was going down, they could identify you based off the tattoos they would wear, and plenty of them were triangles and different patterns. And our tribe can be like that. But so when I came back from Washington, D.C., we had your gala, right?
Yeah, the inaugural podcast party.
And I had no plan of making any Ali'i's Atlas until that day. And I made these shirts. When I was making them, I realized that August 16th is the day we became a state. And becoming a state on accidentally wearing that, making the shirt and having your gala is very interesting because that's the day we launched the ECOH. So the day we launched the ECOH is the day Hawaii became a state. Mm-hmm. The day we randomly chose to have the Ali'i's Atlas gallery was the day of the overthrow. The day I was offered that job was at your gala. Mm-hmm. Like, none of this happens without you. So thank you so much. And Jordan. And Lincoln, and Stephen Sullivan, and Mr. Schuyler, and Kaka'ako Waterfront Plaza, and all of the Hawaiians and everybody who I look up to and who inspires me. This is for all of us. We don't have somewhere we can go and be proud and walk amongst it, and it's treated like a rotunda. So that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
9 foot tall, 128 feet long, 3.5 feet wide, pillars of our ali'i, one by one by one by one. It's almost as if it's going to be so beautiful. There's a QR code on it. You scan the QR code on a brass plaque. Every monarch has a QR code with a brass plaque. You scan that brass plaque, it takes you to the largest known biography written of that ali'i, about that ali'i, by us, by the colleges, by the Hawaiian immersion schools, interviews of the archivists, interviews of the lineal descendants. We are going to write our own history moving forward. The history on Wikipedia is like all wrong, man. Like, and I thought I was learning some stuff. Then I go and talk to the archivists, and I'm wrong about everything, you know. And I'm annoyed because I was preaching that, and so no more preaching wrong history, no more being lost in our identity because we have nowhere to call home. Now we can go over there and walk down a 128-foot wall and hallway and look at the ali'i and just look into their eyes, bro. They're fully in color. You know, we colorize the entire Native Hawaiian library.
Head to Instagram to check it out right now.
Yeah, We colored the whole entire library. 600 photos from the 1700s to the 1900s. 8K resolution. We upscaled them, digitally remapped their faces, gave them eyes, skin color, pores, turned a lot of sketches. The first Kaha'amanu image, I feel that's realistic to the drawings, is going to be there. There's a lot of images there that no one would ever have an idea what they would actually look like because they're just like sketches, you know? And we need to put a face to our history. We need to put it into color, and we need to be able to connect with it as far as even animating it like we did with them laughing and smiling. Because they're laughing, in my opinion, is because they beat death upon making that video and upon making this gallery, you know? And,
it's a beautiful thing. People gotta check it out. So if you're free on January 17th, if you're on Oahu, even if you're on the outer islands, come fly over. It's gonna be a huge event. It's gonna be a historical event, I think. And the idea that you have and just your passion for everything, I think that's what inspires me the most. I mean, you're such a hard worker. Like, I know you personally, so I know how little hours you sleep. So
I hate sleeping.
Yeah, you just love working.
I'm sick.
You love working.
I don't want
more
to
than
dream.
You love sleeping.
I'm done dreaming. I just want to live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can have fun dreaming at home. Y'all can have fun. I need to sleep. No, if you say that, if you need to sleep, then you're gonna go to sleep, right? I don't believe in sleep, but believing is a doubt, right? It's a comfortable understanding of what you don't know. And the reason I don't believe in sleep is because I don't know why you have to, right? Honestly, like, anything in this world or in this universe is possible. You can fly. You can see ghosts. You can become Superman. But if you tell yourself you can't, if you tell yourself that's a movie, anything in your imagination can be done. Anything you can think of is possible. And a lot of things that, you know, when they say manifesting, watch this viral clip. Okay, manifesting is bullshit, okay? I used to always say it, and I used to always think it, and I used to always believe it. But manifesting hands off credit to something else. Manifesting is like, it'll come to me if I wish it. You put a photo of a red Lamborghini on your mood board of what you want to manifest. You put a photo of this house you want to manifest, right? And then it comes true sometimes if you really work for it. Instead of thinking, I manifested that and I made that happen, maybe you're seeing the future. Maybe you're seeing the future version of yourself. Why do you like that red car? Maybe you have it already. Everything's happening at once, and that's how I live my life. That's why I don't like sleeping, because it's a waste of time. It's a dream. How often have we woken up from like having a dream, you're just having sex with the most fucking, your hottest chick you could ever imagine, or you're sitting in the biggest mansion and having fun with your favorite celebrity. And as soon as you go to like touch it or feel it or experience it, you wake the fuck up. You know, it's like dreaming's a joke. It's like playing a joke on you. Yeah, nah, just joking. So that's why I don't want to dream. Dreams are fake.
Seems like a very filmmaker
Right?
answer.
Living and achieving and knowing are my form of dreaming because I'm living my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's awesome.
While everyone else runs for their lives from them.
Yeah.
It's insane, man.
I love
we
it.
have to inspire people to not run from their dreams when they're handed to them.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm getting all turned up.
I know. Well, calm down a little bit because we gotta rewind a little bit. I like to start off the show with getting to know the guests. But before I do that, I told you that I'll show off my little.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
What are these? To me, they look like tabis. I can only lift my left foot right now.
One of let's say 1 of 500.
Etienne's like, you gotta wear this on the podcast.
Yeah, those are Yeezys right there. Look at those things. But I like those Yeezys because they remind me of the Lumaha'i Valley hunting tabis. You know what I'm saying? Like the real Paniola Kanaks with their reef wakas. Those are like the high-end ones right there. Those are limited. I think there's only 500,000 ever made. And Kanye West made those and he's like, go ahead to Yeezy.com, everything's $20. I seen those shoes right there. I ordered like 3 pairs. And when I was leaving the house, I was like, I'm going to the Balenciagas, you know what I mean? We're wearing a McQueen coat, right? I love high fashion because I love art. Mm-hmm. Kamaka's wearing Yeezys. He's got the Lee's Atlas shirt. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, he's going to be wearing...
I'm a local boy for life, but I'm doing this
just
for Etienne.
His Gucci shirt.
Only for him. You've never seen me wear this.
Yeah, right. Remember when I went to your house at one time? The whole closet was designer. That's where all the money goes, yeah?
No.
Face walking around with a Birkin bag. You know what I mean?
That does not happen.
Look at Jordan's Gucci jacket. Jordan, come over here. Show us your Gucci jacket. Where all the money going?
It's all, I don't know what is the court term, libel, slander, whatever it is.
Okay.
All right. So
that designer though, the photo you showed me the other night, like that fashion designer.
Oh, Rocket.
The boy,
Rocket,
whole cuz you look mean in that.
Yeah.
Jordan, cue that photo right now. Cue that photo.
You guys can go on my Instagram and check it out. Okay, so let's get back to you. All right. So where are you from? Where you grad? And what was it like growing up?
I was born in Wahiawa, and I grew up in an apartment complex called Queen Emma Gardens in downtown Honolulu. I remember one of my first memories was like some tweaker breaking into our house because we lived on the bottom level of the apartments, and
it's not too far from here.
Yeah, it's right here. This is a crazy story, bro. I remember waking up and I see this dark shadow moving. I thought it was my dad. I was all fired up. My mom wakes up and just loses it, like ready to just mass murder. And the guy ends up like running out, but he took my Tiffany little, those little bells. Like I guess my grandpa gave it to me or something. And he took that and I just remember ding, 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 ding. And my mom screams, he leaves, runs away. And so like, in my mind, I see that dark figure. As a child, I remember that. And then it wasn't shortly after, I remember I had a dream about my mother floating out to the ocean, and she was like this big, huge golden angel. And I was at Kaimana Beach in the sunset, and I was just crying, but she's like, it's okay. And she was an angel. And as a 2-year-old kid, you don't know what that looks like. That's why I remember, like, how would I know those details? And that's what's really crazy about the mind. I had never seen an angel before, but I told her, you're an angel and you're flying out. And I was crying. And so I remember that part of my life from the guy robbing the house and my mom being an angel and her waking me up, right?
2 years old.
It is pretty interesting. And then I moved to Kauai. First, we moved, I think it was straight we went to our house in Hawaiian homelands with my auntie guys have Hawaiian homes. They transferred it from Molokai to Anahola. And then they had like an Airstream trailer. And then Aniki hit and just blew that little silver bubble into pieces. And so the Hawaiian homes gave us the land. And it was like, it's funny, it's such a strange plot of land. You never get this in mind. It's like 3... like slanted hill inclinements, kind of like an ahupua'a, but it was just red dirt. Impossible to plant grass on. So forevermore, these hills was just red dirt hills. And the Airstream was at the top. And then when Aniki destroyed it, FEMA money, FEMA help. And then we built a really nice 3-bedroom greenhouse on the hill over there in Hokulele Road next to Anahola Mountain.
Oh, okay.
And as it was building, I think we moved to Honolulu, and I lived in this like duplex house. You know the houses that are cut in half. One is a house tenant here, one's a tenant here, and my neighbors were like Holly Beck, this girl I grew up with. I remember her, and I lived across the street from the school, and so I went to Honolulu School. Honolulu School, have you seen it? Have you seen that school before?
I've never spent time on Kauai.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's the most beautiful school on the planet. Like, it's a beautiful school. Behind it, the Honolulu Mountains. Like, every day, waterfalls. School, 8 to 10,000 foot, 8,000, 6 to 7 foot, 1,000 mountains, waterfalls. Walking to school every day. Late to school every day. I lived across the street. I opened the door. I walked down the steps. The crosswalk is right there. Late every day.
Well, nothing's changed because you came late today too.
Yeah, bro. I don't believe in time, and honestly.
Time is just a construct.
Bro, I just know I gotta go somewhere. Yeah. But I respect people's time. I try to a lot, and I have a lot of anxiety trying to respect it. But I cannot choose people's time over ideas and the present moment. So I gotta find a way to balance both. And I don't want to let people down either. Yeah. So so then from there, I lived in Honolulu for like 3 years, and then I had to move to Aloha, and I went to Kauai Elementary over there. And I love that house in Aloha. That house in Aloha, the address was 4223, and it was on the road. And I love that house. It was a 3-bedroom house, and it had a yard, and it had a little cottage, 1 bedroom. The rent, I'll never forget the sign. It was $750. $750 for a big 3-bedroom house, gravel driveway, garage, backyard, and a 1 bedroom. And so I love that house.
It was just you and your mom?
Yeah.
You're an only child.
Yeah. And so my mom got divorced when I was like 18 months or something. It sucked. But then my dad decided like he wanted to move to Kauai, and like I always wanted a family like that, and so then like that house was so cool because then he could move right there. So Pops had his own zone, and every day I would go over there and he'd make like scrambled eggs and orange juice, and he'd pick me up from school every day and take me to get like a Slurpee and a Mauna Kea. And like I don't know, like my mom never picked me up from school. It's like my dad was every day. My mom just made me ride the bus, and she was like working and doing stuff. She worked at the radio station called KKCR, and she would interview all these like practitioners and heavy people.
Yeah, she was deep into the hula world.
Yeah. She has one of the only original like proper podcasts of Mililani back in her prime. You know, like going off all kinds of knowledge about the land of Mu. I spent a lot of time at the radio station. I didn't know what was going on, but she was running a podcast like this.
Yeah.
It was
before
cool.
Podcasts were even invented.
Yeah, no, for real. I have all the tapes. I'll give you those. And so I remember that. But it's interesting, like, trauma for kids you don't feel until like you're our age. And you know, when my dad moved here, all you ever want is a family growing up when you're a child of being divorced. And like I really do love my dad a lot, you know. I just don't respect him, and I don't respect a lot of my family members, but I do love them. And respect to me is much bigger than love. But I do eternally love them. But my dad is like, I just have a connection because I'm a kid. And so like every day I'm just so fucking happy. Like my mom's here, dad's here every day. And then like I don't realize the toll it's taking on. It's hard to live in Kauai. You know what I'm saying? Like really hard. And after 6 months, my dad like couldn't do it anymore. And I remember, like, as a kid, he was like, I gotta move back to Oahu. And I remember being like, oh, you know what, Dad? Like, I understand it's hard to live here. And I know you did your best. And I'm sorry that I made you. And I'm taking the blame, you know, like trying to be a kid, like.
At how old?
Like 9 or 10. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, Dad, that that you made, you know. And so then, like, when he left, like, it's crazy because like I would go to the door every day thinking he still lived there for like a month. And you don't like feel that shit until now.
Like you're feeling it right now as you're
just always
about it,
like like when I'm in this age, you're just blind to it. You just think, oh yeah, it's just life, they're doing their thing. And like fuck those decisions people make. Like selfish decisions for comfort instead of decisions for what's right, for what's respect, you know? Like, my daughter, I would never do that to. I don't give a fuck how much money I have to make, whether I gotta work nonstop and not sleep or do something illegal. I'm gonna take care of her because I don't ever want her to feel like I don't
like you felt
love. Yeah, it's crazy, but they don't even feel that. That generation is so disconnected. The baby boomers, they're just, I guess they've had a tough life, but doesn't mean we gotta have one like that. They always tell us, oh, people in Africa, or oh, well, I had it hard. I'll tell, yeah, well, why do I have it hard? Just because you had it hard.
Yeah,
That they break generational curses, bro, and they want to keep us in a generational curse. Every time I have ever interacted with anyone from that generation involving money or something being given, it's always expected back. I have never in my life let someone borrow money. I give them what they ask for because I don't want to expect that to come back and start to not like you because you're disrespecting me. If I can afford it, I want you to have it because I want to set the standard and I want to set that example. And I feel that giving a gift that's expected back is giving a borrowed gift, borrowed happiness. Oh, you can have them now, but if you don't give them back, I hate you. Well, bro, like, you loved me when I didn't have it. It's material, you know?
Yeah. No, I didn't know that about your childhood. So now,
oh, dude, it was
now hearing it,
Yeah.
it makes me understand you a lot better. How you are with your daughter, because you absolutely love your daughter.
Yeah.
You speak so highly of her. She's 18 months, and you're just a great father.
Thank you.
And I see, because you want to give her a better father than you had.
Well, I just love her like so much. Like my daughter, like for all men out there, and you just have a newborn or you have like a daughter, understand that like when you have that daughter, it's better than a boy. To me, because I wanted a boy, and then I had a daughter, and then that kid loves me more than anyone on this earth ever will, and it's a girl, right? It has freed me from ever wanting and longing for a partner that's a woman. So many men can't handle the postpartum postpartum psychosis and issues that happen with the pregnancy. It's like the test of all relationships, right? A lot of times they're left feelingless after that happens. And so when the daughter's born, they're so focused on their own selves, their own relationships, their own feelings. The kid is just like neglected. As a result, your feelings don't matter once you have a child. You brought that kid in. He didn't ask to come here. So your feelings need to correspond with what does this child feel better. Because trust me, if you don't, when that kid grows up, you're going to end up hating yourself. And you're going to feel the feelings that I never felt now, just like that. And so I don't understand. Like, I really want men to understand, like, connect with your daughter. Love that kid. Focus on that kid. And look at how much that kid loves you. Look at how every time you go to get up, that kid gets up and walks to you. Every time you walk in the door, she's so happy to see you. You do anything, that kid's coming with, it's following you. You can't go anywhere without it. And if you go anywhere without it, she's going to cry, right? Don't you want that in life? Like with someone, whether, like, don't you look for that in a girlfriend? Don't you look for that in a friend, right? Like, no girlfriend's gonna get up everywhere you go and do that, right? No friend, no guy friend, unless they're being paid as an assistant or something. But this is for free,
it's unconditional.
And I think about how much shit my parents have put me through, and like that experience with my dad, it happened. So he hasn't even fucking met her. He was here when she was born, you know, and he thinks that like I'm mad at him for some bullshit that makes no sense because he feels like a shitty father. Right?
Have you communicated that to him before?
I always tell him it's fine. He got a new girlfriend and married, and I'm fucking so happy for him. It was his first girlfriend.
When's the last time you saw him?
Like 3 years ago. But
Does he have any other kids?
No, he just had his first love is his wife now, and I'm so happy for him. Like, I am so happy. He told my mom that he thinks that I hate him because of my mom. I don't give a shit that you're not with my mom. You know what I mean? I want you to be happy, like, you know? And like, yeah, it's like, this is the type of shit, like, look, he hasn't even met his goddaughter. And he was there. Like, I would talk to him on the phone the day she was born. Like, you imagine how bad that fucking hurts.
Yeah.
You know?
So you were based from like 9 and on. You were just raised by your mom, whom I met.
My
and
dad.
She's so nice.
My dad would come in and out.
Okay.
He was
but
there
you
for me.
lived with your mom.
Yeah, straight. So I wish I could live with my dad.
And your mom is still here with,
She loves me so much.
Yeah, she's super.
Yeah.
Every time I went over to the house, she's like, "You need anything?" I was checking. You're like, "Mom, I'm good. I'm good."
Yeah. She's just so happy. She's happy to like when success happens. Like,
she's really nice.
She's cool. She definitely loves me unconditionally, like my daughter does for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the rest of your childhood from that? From that point on, and then how did you get into filmmaking? Was that always a passion? Were you into other things?
Bodyboarding. I loved bodyboarding.
Oh, okay.
I used to say I always knew I was destined from 4 years old to be the greatest filmmaker, creator, artist to ever live. That's what I knew from when I was 4. And I will become that no matter what. It's just destiny. But I used to tell myself, how am I supposed to become the greatest if I love bodyboarding so much? I used to like every day, all day long, I'm watching like Jeff Hubbard on the TV, studying the backflips.
Yeah.
I never would learn anything. Even though I'm studying it, I still couldn't do the moves. But I would watch them a million times over and over and over and over and over. And I loved bodyboarding, man. And I got really good. I got good. Like, I still have dreams of the barrels that I would get on this spot in Kauai that is like, way more just ballistic than pipeline, and a mix of Teahupo'o and Tahiti, right point hand brake. I just remember parking it in barrels out there that were the size of a house, bro, like 20 feet tall, 20 feet wide. And one of the most clearest moments I have is like during my prime, my idols are out there, Jeff Hubbard, Spencer Skipper. This is our spot, bro. It is torrential downpouring rain, perfect north swell. Waves are hitting the cliff. It's about a half a mile out to sea. And these A-frames are coming in, and there's just one surfer out there, and my idols are there. Okay, we're talking like 6 years in the making of watching these guys on videos every day, and I'm owning them at my spot. And it's proper 20-foot face, 22-foot face, death bombs, brown water. Crazy, yeah? And I get this massive barrel, and I look at my idol on the shoulder, and he throws a shaka. I was like, yeah, kick out, don't claim it. Go back out, catch another one, come out of the barrel and just do a massive invert. Boom! Like hi, bro. Like, I'm not joking. I can show people. I was really good. And I punted this air that was like at least 6 feet out of the wave. And I remember my legs flew over me like a frog. And I ended up landing in the flats and then pulling it off in front of my idol. And then now you know like how big of a blessing that is to be having the greatest session of your life in front of the
I know.
And then the wave that will never ever leave my mind and haunts me to this day for me to want to go back and feel that again. This death bomb comes out of nowhere. I'm looking at Teva Dexter, who owns that Black Bear Surf Company. It's getting pretty big on the North Shore. It's called Black Bear. Ask Teva Dexter about this, bro. This bomb comes from out of nowhere. I look at the boys, I'm like, you guys want to go? They didn't want no smoke. They just looked at each other, no. So I just turned around and just committed. And I remember falling from the sky like a good 20 feet. Like just out.
You went right over the falls?
No, I airdropped.
Oh.
And it was such a bomb. And like
you
I was
cut wind when you landed?
No, my hands immediately like blah, like I immediately like they flew out in front of me when I landed, and I smashed my nose directly on the leash plug. I knew it was bleeding immediately because like it was hard. Like I got rocked, blah, like, and then I was like, yeah, shit. But immediately I was like, if I cannot fall right now because the wind might be knocked out of me. You don't know your wind's gone until a second there. So I caught myself and I pulled back into it. This wave's 20 feet high, bro. It's huge. And then everyone's got their arms out like this, like just claiming it, like the whole shoulder. And then I just park it. And remember, it's pouring rain. You cannot barely see from here to you. Pouring, like black rain. And then this barrel comes flying over me and all the rain stops. Like a huge house of a barrel. The rain just goes shh, and I'm just, it's like black and green barrel. And then my idols and all my friends are there. And I just remember I felt it sticking my tongue out. So I stuck my tongue out and the thing just spit. And then that's probably the last time I boogie boarded. I literally retired after that wave because it was this rich. But they said I was sticking my tongue out and smiling, and my nose was bleeding in the barrel. Imagine a photo of that.
Too bad there wasn't as much coverage back then.
No, you weren't allowed to film that wave.
Yeah.
Like if you film that wave, they're gonna beat you up like bad. Like guys got lickings. If you filmed on the cliff, if they caught you filming on the cliff, any locals like that, thousands of dollars of cameras are being broken on site, and it's 30 lickings. Kauai is gnarly. We should talk about that. Kauai is gnarly, but you can ask that. So, yeah, I lived. Where did we get off track? I lived there in. I moved to Aloha and I lived there. Moved out of that house to the house next door, which was a way more smaller. It was a downgrade. It was like a studio.
Yeah.
And I just had to watch another family move into that house. But it was really traumatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like seeing a whole other family all happy and shit, and then their dad. The whole same situation that happened to me happened there. And like you're seeing kids in your yard, like it's just bullshit, you know? And then money is a funny thing, man. Like if you don't have it, life sucks. And honestly, if you don't have money, you can't be happy. Like I am happy because money gives me freedom in the society I'm stuck in. If you have aloha, then you can be happy in the forms of your settings. Yeah? Like if we lived in Kalalau Valley, we don't need money. You need aloha, right? If you live in a society like here,
you need money.
You need money.
You gotta pay rent.
Bro, you have to. You cannot have aloha if you're on the streets, bro. You know what I mean?
Aloha's not gonna pay rent.
Hell no. It actually does. It actually does.
It might give you a discount.
It actually does. Look at your podcast. Yeah. Right?
I guess that's true.
Yeah. No, honestly, aloha is everything, bro. And it means everything. And it is everything. Like without aloha, like aloha in the English language, for those of you wondering, I notice a lot of Hawaiians can't explain what aloha is. Let me simplify it for you. RESPECT. Okay? Respect and aloha are identical words. Respect is all things good with mankind and humanity. Respect is loyalty. Respect is love. Respect is happiness. You don't love someone because you just love them. You love them because you love the way they respect you. You love the way they respect their loyalty towards you. Love does not exist without respect and loyalty. Loyalty doesn't exist without respect. So at the end of the day, respect does not exist without respect. There's nothing that respect can't have. You can't have respect if you don't live a good life. You have to be a good person. You have to do the right thing in order to have respect. You can't be a bad person and have respect. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't exist. You can't be a bad person and have aloha. Respect, like, but respect is just so downplayed in people's lives. It's like love is right here in everyone's head, blinded. Love is a drug. It's a fact that love makes you feel the same side effects as cocaine does. Look it up, Stanford University. I looked up all about it because I would always wonder why the fuck I am in so much pain when a heartbreak happened. What is this feeling? It's a withdrawal. It's a full-fledged chemical withdrawal. And the person's pulling the drugs away are the person that is doing it to you. You understand? It's a drug. Love creates a chemical disperse of dopamine that makes you do crazy things, makes you feel like time doesn't exist. What happens when chronics get all high? They stay home and sit on the couch, right? And just start tweaking out. What happens when you fall in love? You stay home on the couch, start tweaking out, right? Like, it's just you're watching movies instead of the bad stuff on the websites, you know? And like, sorry, elaborate. When you're in love, you're watching fun movies. When you're not in love and you're doing drugs, you're watching things that you shouldn't, is what I'm saying. And this is why I believe love should be categorized as a feeling, like legit. It's not categorized as like an emotion of, it's not categorized as an emotion in a way. Like when you look at the spectrum on the psychological thing, there's like happiness, sad, anger, all these things. There's no love. You know, they attribute happiness and all these things, but they really think about it. Love doesn't mean everything like aloha does and like respect does. Love means one thing. It means a feeling that you have to that person. To me, love is just an elevated form of happiness. That's it. And it never lasts forever. You have to work for it. And the way you work for it gives you respect, and the respect gives you more. So in the sense, love is the drug, respect is the money. How much money are you going to give to continue having that love? Like when you have all these people in the government taking plenty of this money and doing things they shouldn't, right? That's just like you in the relationship with love. Okay, you're giving plenty of respect to this person, right? But then you're giving plenty of respect to another person, another girl, right? That's like the government.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They're giving too much respect to too much people. So what happens to the person that finds out you're giving too much respect to another person? They leave your ass, right? What happens in the government? You get arrested or you get fired. It's no different. You see what I'm saying?
This is a really,
It's interesting,
really,
right?
yeah, interesting
And so
metaphor.
I want people to understand that love is bullshit. Like, so when I say I love you, I do love you. I like you more than other people out there.
But you're really saying I respect you.
No. I'm saying you make me feel so much happiness. If I say I respect you, that's the definition of me loving you. Like it's not loving you, I respect you. That's so much more than love. Respect to me is everything, bro. I could love the way that juice tastes just as much as I love you. Like the taste of that juice is making me feel just as good as seeing you when I haven't seen you in a week. You see what I'm saying? It's all feelings, it's all dopamines, it's all reactions, it's all receptors. And therefore, if love is a receptor, then it shouldn't be your number one priority in life. And movies are what have done that to us. Movies program us to believe that there's fairy tale love. We all know that's bullshit. It's not like that. I've had moments like that. They don't last, you know? And we're acting like we're in a movie when those moments happen. Like it's pouring rain in, I remember one time I had a girlfriend, Malia Ward. She was a really cool person. And we went biking through a torrential downpouring flood. Like in the North Shore, all the homes were underwater, and we're on our bicycles. And I was like, wow, this is so spontaneous. This is so much fun. And she's like, here, put your earbud in your ear. And she's like sharing her music with me. And she's literally showing me her movie. It's her movie. I'm living the movie of her life in this moment. And she's pulling things right out of movies she's seen and recreating them on the streets. Like kissing at the top of like the rain on the hill. Like we try to please the people we love based off the scenes we've seen in movies. Tell me not.
Well, what's your influence with, you know, because like you digest what you see, you know. So you're just you're recreating those moments. Like I think I should do this on a first date because this is what I saw
in the movie
happens in a first date.
In the movie, yeah. You know, that's how social media don't give us that.
Yeah, it
doesn't give us nothing. Social media gives us bullshit. You know what I mean? Like honestly, social media. Dude, I have the answers to everything in life. I'm just swearing, like I can.
Okay.
God just gives me all of this, man. I'm saying, I'll finish with your loss. Love. I just want everyone to understand that life is not just about love. Life should only be about respect. If you respect everybody, you're going to be loved by everybody. Like that's a fact. You want to be loved, be respectful. If you don't have love, don't be an asshole. A lot of people with no love are a bunch of assholes. Why are they assholes? Because they want respect. Why do people shoot up a school? Because they want respect. Why do people do things to hurt other people? It's not because those people don't love them. Why would they care? They don't love those people. They don't love all those girls, but they'll kill them all. They don't like them because they don't respect them. You understand that? Anything that's ever happened in this world bad, anything that's ever hurt another man, woman, child, husband, daughter, auntie, politician, people, in a native group, what was the cause? What was the root cause of the suffering, death, and pain? No fucking respect. There was no respect. No respect, disrespect is the root cause of all destruction, all pain, all suffering, all annihilation of humanity, of the natural environment. They don't respect how much fish are in the ocean. You don't respect how much indigenous species are here. They don't respect that the mosquitoes are killing those native plants. They don't respect that the water is being diverted from its natural flowing habitat to fall off of the mountains and create fake waterfalls that end up right in the golf course, end up right in the hotel. Oh, back in the Mo'olelo, it says that those waterfalls never went there. What's that called? That's called being disrespectful to the land. Everything is disrespect. That is bad. Yet people say there's more of an issue at play. No, it's very simple. These people are being fucking disrespectful. Okay, and if we can see things simple, like with the vai this, the vai that, they have no idea what they're talking about because they don't have enough respect to understand that we must not trust everything we hear and respect their opinion, but respect our knowing. And let's go look at Hawaii.gov and go really understand who owns the vai. Right? And we can go right on that website and type it in and look at the water reports, and you can see who's the owner, not of the land of where the water flows through, my friends. That water does not just flow through there for no reason. There's something called a hydraulic unit. Okay? For all of you in Hawaii who want to know about water, type in hydraulic unit and the name of the location where you're looking for the vai, and you will find who controls that vai. Stop blaming it on corporations that are by the Makai side. You see what I'm saying? The Makai side has nothing to do with where the source of that's coming from. They're called water management. So what does this say? This is a cause of being disrespectful to the understanding of information. Right? And when those people are preaching wrong information, when our politicians are lying to us, what is that being? Disrespectful. So I think that everybody needs to understand that the reason things are bad, the reason things get hard, the reason people are confused, the reason Hawaiians are mad, it's not because our land was taken. It's not because there are a lot of racist behaviors and mannerisms, right? But I've been treated worse by my own people than any other people in the world. Way worse. Hawaiians have treated me worse, my own people, than anyone in the world. Why? Why do the people who do not like me the most are my own people? Why? Whether you're Kanaka or Hawaiian, or Kanaka with no Hawaiian and no Aloha, why do we not like each other? I bet you ask any Hawaiian who you hate the most, it's going to be another Hawaiian, right? They get mad at the whites, but honestly, that comes down to disrespecting our ways of how we were raised and our ancestors taught us. If you want to complain about water and you have a faucet in your house and you want to talk about a drought, but you're not Hawaiian. What are you talking about? Thousands of years we've lived here drinking water out the ground. What's in your Brita filter? Volcanic charcoal. What's in the mountains? Volcanic. Drink the stream water. Don't drink the faucet because then you're going to lower your immune system because that stuff's filled with fluoride and all this bullshit and it just brings our immune systems down. And then Hawaiians can't drink their own water anymore. We have to drink the government's water because our stomachs have been crafted to that. Our immune systems have been weakened and we now are under their control. You cannot be blind to colonization. They come here. They change the plants, they change the trees, they change the animals, they change the fish, they change the grass. They changed the buildings. They changed the way of transportation. They changed our democracy. They changed our lifestyle. They changed the food we eat. They changed the words we say. And they clone their home and turn it into theirs. With a sprinkle of Hawaiian culture being like, hey, yeah, come. Hawaiian culture, here's a lei. Yeah, but look at all this mall. Doesn't it look like home? That's how dumb that generation is. People want to come here to feel the aloha and the mana, bro. Like, people want to come to Hawaii to feel Hawaii. And it's always in the back of their head. Yeah, the locations are nice, but subconsciously they want aloha. They want to feel the culture. Why do they want to feel the culture? Because they saw in 50 First Dates the way that auntie took care of the girl that forgot everything every day, and how she was mad at Adam Sandler. They want an auntie that cares about them like that. They see Blue Crush, right? Girls want a Kala Alexander. I dated a girl that told me she moved to Hawaii because she wanted a boyfriend like Kala Alexander from Blue Crush and forgetting Sarah Marshall. You know, they want a Hawaiian that just punch their boyfriend. Like, I guess that's what he was doing, right? In the movies. There's so many examples where movies have brought in people to Hawaii, right? The government spends the Hawaii Tourism Bureau spends $30 million in between creative industries and film commission to advertise Hawaiian culture. $30 million. Why are we not making movies with that? When movies are the biggest advertisement for Hawaii and none of them were made by Hawaiians, right? Like, our people and everyone watching this, if you're still watching, you need to make movies, stories, mo'olelo, anything you can of our culture. You need to go up to people who are advertising agencies or who are creators or who are influencers. And I don't care if you're Hawaiian blooded or Hawaiian citizen or Hawaiian not or Hawaiian at heart. If you make content here, if you make a living here making content, if you're making advertising of our people and our indigenous companies and the hotels, stop making commercials that don't have Hawaiians in them. You need to stop making commercials that do not talk about Hawaiian practice, Hawaiian mythology, Hawaiian ideology, Hawaiian understanding, Hawaiian values. You need to stop not making stuff that does not perpetuate and remind people about our culture. You, me, everyone that creates films, you and I aren't responsible, but our people as filmmakers and as people who tell mo'olelo are all responsible for the decline in Hawaiian culture. We are the biggest reason. We are. Our generation, Gen Z, the baby boomers not caring about it. They don't even understand it. They don't even know how to work the GPS in their phone. I remember back in the day, they used to be able to write down the address and find the house. They can't even do that anymore. How are they going to run the government, right? And so when we are here and we are seeing all this content come out, all these hot chicks on the beach showing their okoles and stuff, yeah? All these guys with 6-packs doing backflips off of our sacred watering holes and sacred places. You know, when you go to Yokohama Bay and you go do a backflip off that cliff, the next time you do a backflip off that cliff, why don't you talk about how that's where the souls used to jump into the afterlife? Why don't you talk about No'iau Lima, who drowned and passed away over there, and then the Native Hawaiian Council went over there and said that the kahuna said No'iau had relieved the Aumakua that used to guard the gates to heaven over there, and No'iau relieved him, and now No'iau is the Aumakua. So they changed the name to the Aumakua they pray over there to No'iau, who's the brother of the boy in my movie.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about that when you go there? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mo'olelos have to be told.
Yeah. I can see why you're passionate about storytelling and why you want to be, because like my next question would be like, what motivates you? But you
have it.
I just listened to you explain it all.
Sorry, I just went on such a tangent.
No, but it's because you're passionate and you have so much to say.
And you know what? I should take my glasses off so people can see how serious I am. Just joking.
Yeah, no, but so you know, I was gonna ask about filmmaking, and I want to go talk about your movie Pe'ai, because that was the first one I saw when we first met, and you were telling me about it. I saw that movie with my girlfriend Faith. We went to the
when we were in the mansion. Yeah, that house
theater.
will be ours soon.
It was. Yeah, first of all, I've never been to a house like that.
Wait. When we went to our house, we just never get them yet.
Yeah. It's temporarily
our future house. Our future house.
But we watched that movie, and I gotta say, like, you know, I'm not being biased. This is a total objective view. It was the best movie ever produced in Hawaii.
Thank you so much.
Me and Faith were just talking about how amazing it was. I tell people like you gotta watch this movie. It was just like cinematic gold. Just it's a masterpiece. The storytelling is good. The acting is great. It's just local people. It's a story of Hawaii told from a native Hawaiian perspective, and with a native Hawaiian superhero, Kailani. You know, it was just the coolest movie. I can't wait for that to be in theaters and people to watch it. It probably just the wave scene. I don't know how big were those 60, 80-foot waves, like
90 feet at the
90 feet
biggest,
waves
yeah.
on a big screen with slow motion.
Oh, they were filmed to be that big, and on the IMAX, it will be as it looks.
It's just the coolest thing I've ever seen. So after seeing that, I was like, oh, this guy is legit.
Well, thank you so much, bro.
And like people are listening to this, and if they're watching, they're like, this guy, you know, what I've been, how I describe you to people is like, he's like a Kanye West.
Yeah.
He's like a mad genius.
I love Kanye.
Yeah, like so confident, so talented, maybe misunderstood sometimes, but you can't discredit the talent. Like once you see his work and the things that he's done, it speaks for itself. Like you could say all the things you want because you've done it.
Yeah.
You know, you can say I'm talented, I'm the best because you put in the work.
Well, it's true.
You're not saying this and not doing it. You're not saying I'm gonna be the best filmmaker in the world and sleeping 12 hours a day. You're working 12 hours straight with not even eating. You know,
I took a moment to say those words when I always wanted to say those words what you just said, and I took a moment to say them until I knew I was gonna be heading there. So I waited a year to say what you just said. I'm the best, and I wasn't when I said it, but I knew that it was gonna come true in about a few months, and then I set off with the Jason thing, right? So it's just pure truth. What you're saying.
Okay, so before we go into our shishi break, I want to know about your career and how you got started in the film industry and how you ended up connecting to these big name people like Jason Momoa and Academy nominated and award-winning producers.
I signed a deal with the devil. No, I'm just joking. I'm okay. Let me go. I moved to Oahu when I was 18.
After you graduated, where did you
I
graduate
never
from?
graduated. I dropped out in ninth grade. Yeah, I went to UUH, University of Hanalei, and my classes were in oceanography and ocean propulsion. But yeah, no, I was just joking. No, I learned all that from Kanaloa and the ocean, just learning and bodyboarding, and from the love from bodyboarding. I used to get picked on so much for bodyboarding, like a lot. And so then that's why I started going just ape shit and just getting big barrels. And then the surfers were coming up to me and complimenting me a lot at that wave. You know, the wave was like proving grounds. You know, it was a situation. You know, Bethany Hamilton, Alana Blanchard, we would all be there, and they would always be on the corner. And I remember like Alana Blanchard has seen me in the biggest barrels of all time. Like she was always her and Bethany would always be the one duck diving at the end bowl. And like they're like Alana's butt was just always in the way. I was just like, she just skip over it. And she was just always like, I just remember Alana all the time. You know who that I'm talking about? Alana
Well,
yeah.
I gotta say, you gotta connect me with her for do the podcast episode because
100%.
Last night I started watching this show on Prime, I think, called Special Forces, where they get all these celebrities to do like Special Forces Navy SEAL training kind. And we watched this. We started the second season, but I looked at who's gonna be on the third season, and Alana Blanchard is gonna be on the third season.
Wow!
So I'd love to talk to her about that show.
Oh yeah, and also how she pioneered
connect me after.
Yeah. Alana's the pioneer of all social media butt pics, period. her and Anastasia Ashley. I'm serious. Bikinis. She's the one, bro. She's got like 2 million followers. Like her and Anastasia Ashley created the social media influencer in bikinis.
The classic.
It's a fact, bro. Anastasia and Alana, don't you ever forget this. They did, bro. They don't. You know, it's a very proud statement. No, they created the influencing wave of women in bikinis. They did. It's something to be proud of, honestly, because it's a culture, bro. And you know that culture. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's superficial." No, girls, all shapes and sizes. are working out hard to look that way. Because
even
it's
the
a
bigger
thing.
girls,
they're all looking good,
they're
bro.
just sharing.
When I was back in my day, boy, when I was growing up, you know, like there was not that many in shape people, bro. Nowadays, everyone's good looking. It's weird, bro. Yeah, they just work out, you know. But yeah, you know, when they don't think about that, like Alana and Anastasia, Alana Blanchard, Alana and Anastasia look like sisters, by the way. They have the same eyes, identical. I thought Anastasia was Alana multiple times, and they don't even probably think about this, but I see patterns of why things happen. The amount of things that they've changed and influenced, and the better overall health of the generations in humanity came from that influencing era that they pioneered. So people don't understand that things like that improve the overall well-being and health and lifespan and longevity of so many people that might not be here today, and created careers and dreams to come true for many women that would never have chased those dreams. And it all had to do with that butt pick, you know. And it's like it's amazing what
deeper than a butt pick.
the okole changed the world.
We're
You know what I mean?
clip that.
You know, it really did. I remember I remember they were always duck diving, and I was in the biggest barrels, and it was just like in Kauai, that's everything she did on a wave is just like that. How could you not notice it? You know, it was the way she surfed that made it famous. And so the okole changed the industry. That's crazy, bro, right?
That's funny. All right, so speaking about the film industry.
Well, yeah. So yeah, growing up watching Alana's butt and just going. So yeah, I used to I would film my friends surfing so we could get sponsored. You see what I'm saying?
Just like how people start off filming their friends skateboarding.
Yeah.
So you were just that way.
Well, I would film myself.
Yeah.
Like literally, I would set the camera up on the beach, or we would trade spots. We would do missions, bro. Like we would paddle from Kea Beach to Hanakapiai or Kalalau. Bro, this is 5 to 6 miles of paddling on a boogie board, bro, down a shark-infested death trap of the Nepali coast, hugging the cliffside to stay away from the deep. And you're by yourself, the cliff's vertical. There's a drop-off that's like 1,000 feet, and then there's sand. And you are just by yourself paddling with a plastic bag and my video camera inside. Lunchbox I would use a lot of the time, and make sure the lunchbox is on top of the boogie board. I think about this stuff nowadays, bro, and like the levels that we would go to. I would go Hanakapi by myself, bro, a couple stupid times. And like what I would do is, I'm just gonna tell you how I became such a savage at filmmaking. I had a little Sony Handycam that was about this big. That thing was the only one we had. Like Tyler Newton, Dylan Millamid, Bear Bailey, Alex Smith, Koa Smith, Travis Smith, Kristen Steiner, Erica Steiner, Savannah Kennedy. I'm just gonna drop these names because this is who I grew up with. Alana Blanchard, Bethany Hamilton, Ryan Hamyoung, Gavin Kennelly, Keala Kennelly, Andy Irons, Bruce Irons, Dustin Barca, Stevie Wu, like Ikolu, Kaili Alanalan, Joseph Coheen, Stephen Coheen. Picture all those people, and there's more, I'm sure. Like, Lance Taniguchi-Fu, Rogers Taniguchi-Fu. There's a couple more, bro. Like, there's the Tagaros, and there's... Yeah, everyone I'm saying, you hear how many people I've said? We were all boogie boarding, surfing, doing our thing as like a unit, like a group of people, bro. Shout out, Summer Bendor, and this is a crew, okay? This is a generation I'm talking about, and I'm just speaking this because this is never gonna be they're never gonna be spoken in a group like this ever again on a thing, and I owe them everything in my life. Like, Ian Hamyoung, Ryan Hamyoung especially, that person, and Kaili Olanalan and Joey Coheen. Those are my best friends in the world. Ryan and Kaili have broken one eardrum on each side from us just growing up together and just like me learning respect, you know? And so growing up as a boogie boarder, I realized that I would get picked on so much, bro, seriously, but they respected the hustle because I would videotape when I wasn't boogie boarding and I would capture the boys. surfing. Now picture like growing up with Andy and Bruce Irons, Dustin Barca, Ryan Ham-Young, and a couple other pro surfers would come by, like from the outer islands, right? And every day you're seeing Andy and Bruce, 3-time world titles. You're surfing the best waves in the world with just them out. And I'm the only boogie boarder, right? And the way I would roll up is I would wake up at 5 to 6 in the morning. Because that's when people, all right, everybody listen up, okay? Everybody listen the fuck up, okay? Let me explain to you how hard life is and how easy you have it now, okay? As filmmakers, as just people, as overall people, all of you in this generation beneath us or alive or mine, you guys have forgotten or you just don't know the level of what it actually means to love something so much that nothing else matters except getting to that destination. Yo, this is going to be the most impactful rant in history, okay? It's not going to go too long. So every morning at 5 a.m., I would wake up. I would put $5. My mom would give me like a couple bucks or something. I put it in a plastic bag and a towel, no cell phone, no way of telling what the waves were. 596 surf was the only thing you could call, and that's Oahu. I get up and I walk 2 miles through Kilauea School, through the neighborhoods. And by the way, this is the 8th or 9th time I've moved. This is 9th grade. I got into a fight with my brother, Parker Blaylock. We were good friends, but I got punched in the face and I was like, Mom, I don't go to school anymore. And I used the black eye to get out of school. And so I could just boogie board, you know? So I am like, okay, once I realized you could hitchhike, oh, it was over, bro. I was like, bro, let's go. No ego, zero ego. I could never hitchhike now. No ego. Pride and confidence that I'm going to be able to go surf where there's waves, and pride with my thumb out, holding my boogie board, with my fins in my plastic bag, because I'm going to go do something in my life. I'm going to go surf. It's okay. How do you not have ego doing that, everybody? It's beautiful days, bro, before you care what people thought. So every day, I would walk 2 miles to the road, and it would be about just cracking at sunlight. I knew all the construction workers would go work. The construction workers were the only ones that could pick me up hitchhiking because they had the truck bed, usually, yeah? And I would always see the same one. As soon as I see one, lock eyes, I jump in. I would probably catch a ride with these people 30, 40, 50 times a day. We would never speak. They would drop me off, and I would go. I would see them out in the lineup, go. You're spending this much time in an existing ecosystem of life and picking this kid up every day. I think about what they used to think. Every day they would see me on the side of the road with my yellow boogie board and fins at exactly the same time they're going to work to feed their families, hitchhiking, trying to become a professional bodyboarder. And I could look up at the sky and I would see the way that the clouds were, the smell of the air, the thickness of the mist. I would know exactly how big the waves were. Judging by the clouds, I would know what wind it was. Judging by the speed of the trees at a certain height, I would know what trade wind's speed it was. Judging by how cold it was, I would know if it was variables or if it was light variables or if it was west turning weird swirly. I would just know because the freezing temperatures would always be the Kona, right? And my lips would get like really chapped for some reason from north wind. And I would know that with that north wind, I got to go to this spot. I never knew how big it was until I got a computer 3 years later. Okay, I went to Tahiti Chopo when I was 12 years old. My mom's like, go with this photographer. Like, I catch a flight to go surf my dream at Chopo. 12, bro. Completely out of my league. The photographer ends up just being like, yeah, we're just going to hitchhike to Chopo. I'm like, I thought you had a ride, you know? We hitchhike, we get a ride from the mayor. Okay, I have my handy cam, my little handy cam. Like, I just went from the Pali Coast from Kauai. Now I'm in Tahiti, hitchhiking, okay? Same thing, okay? Like, literally, like, just around that, bro. In the same few years of this, I'm hitchhiking in Tahiti Chopo with this photographer to go meet Andy guys. And we're not, like, with Andy Irons. Like, Andy knows him, but he'll let him shoot. But he's not our boy. So like somehow we get a ride from the mayor's son. The mayor's son puts us up, right? And I'm just 12, okay? And then the biggest day of all time happens, bro. And it's that shot where Andy with the checkered triangle, red and black shorts is standing straight up. You know that right before, it's the most iconic Andy photos of all time. I am there, bro. there at 12, hitchhiked my ass to Chopo, the biggest day of all time, and I got my handy cam out and I am just recording bombs, bro.
And your mom just let you go?
Yeah. And so I'm just recording bombs, okay? I'm probably one of the only people to this day with that footage. The greatest days of Bruce and Annie's life. Like the day Damien Hobgood got that cover with the lip that's like 80 feet thick. That's what that day was, one of the most iconic days in the history of surfing. I have that whole thing on camera. And that guy Sasha Man was with us somehow. Pieces of fire. He was on the boat singing that song. The whole time, just Sasha Man playing. It was so random, bro. And from there, I had that Chopo footage. And I made a video and it went on Olelo TV or whatever, the Hoike in Kauai. And then this man named Bob Sato hit me up. Bob Sato is a Kauai classic. If you ever seen the Kauai classic, it's a fish, it's a Christian. He mentored and created Jamie O'Brien's entire idea of how he makes films. His pioneering skills with the rodeo flip came from staying at Bob Sato's house and surfing the west side of Kauai and living with boogie boarders. Jamie was the only surfer, and boogie boarders do ARSs, right? ARSs. That's what a rodeo flip is. So Jamie learned it from the boogie boarders. Bob Sato captured it. That's what made Jamie a superstar. And so Bob was like a mentor, creator of the greatest boogie boarders in the world, like Jeff Hubbard. They all learned from Bob. He had one lung. He used to surf, but he would just have the best camera equipment and he would just take the boys surfing. And he created the greatest surfers and bodyboarders to ever live in Kauai. Andy Irons, all of them were with Uncle Bob. And so when Bob saw my video, I got the call. And I went there and I clicked that. He has an iron stamp and I got to put that Kauai Classic stamp on my boogie board. That was God level, bro. And so I would be sitting in his office. So I went from a handy cam to like barely using a computer to sitting in this massive office of screens with a tape deck loader. And I just started pumping out entire episodes at 13 years old. I was running Hoike's channel. Like everything that was coming out on the local Kauai channel was a 13-year-old kid making like hour-long pieces of pipeline, making my mom film, and then trying to be a professional bodyboarder at the same time. I remember my mom filmed one of Jeff Hubbard's, like half of Jeff Hubbard's segment in the No Friends video because she was just filming me and she thought he was me because the same color board. Like that's how random it was, bro. Okay, so yeah, fast forward that, I almost die on the biggest day in the history of mankind at Kalihuai. This one wave no one's allowed to go to. It was like a solid 40 feet. Bruce almost died that day. A lot of the boys almost died that day. Laird Hamilton told me he wasn't going to try and save me. It was just, there's no point because and God let me live. I remember crying in the lineup saying, God, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I had muscle failure in every leg. It was solid like 40 feet. And I was just like, the next wave, I'm gonna breathe in water and die. And then like, when you have that feel, when you have that peace, it's very, very scary, but you're helpless. And so from that moment on, I'm like, I'm gonna start making films. I don't want to die anymore. I don't want to die. And so then I went through like hell with like the worst drug addiction of all time. And I was like, fuck, I gotta get out of here. So then I left Kauai to get away from an addiction. And then I landed in Oahu and met up with my best friend, Tyler Newton, who already was like a very well-established professional surfer for Quicksilver. And he's like, yeah, this welcome to the big leagues, you know? And the big leagues were like Pipeline at the time. This is the golden era of surfing when Nike was around and there's a lot of money. Guys are, John, and everyone's making millions. And I'm the first person of my age to be there. There's no one my age there. No one. Okay, these are all like Larry Haynes and all the real guys. Okay, and the youngest person there, the only person, and me and Damien's guy, the same age. I don't have nothing, Kamaka. No money, nothing. I moved to Oahu with $200. I had at this time I had a Canon home video camera with a mini DV, and I would put it to the cinema setting, which had like a different frame rate. It was kind of choppy. It still looked good. Nowadays, it'd be cool. I had no money for batteries. So I went to Home Depot and bought a 150 long foot extension cord. Okay? Reef McIntosh is letting me stay at the Quicksilver house to film on the porch, like slave labor, to film the boys, right? But that's how you do it. You have to pay your dues. You have to literally suffer and and just show us why we should give you a chance. I guess that's how it was, right? There was no cinematographer for a surf company back then. You just shot and sold your clips, bro. I created that position with Ruka. We'll get to that. So I literally would plug my 150-foot long extension cord into the Quicksilver house, and there'd be people on the beach. You just see me rolling out this fucking cord. Rolling out this cord as if like I'm gonna do something massive, you know, like we're gonna build like a scaffold for a contest. No, it's just me. I have a splitter. I put the splitter down. I plug my camera into the splitter, and my other battery's charging. And I have like a lawn chair. It looked like I was like my martinis, but lawn chair, the whole thing. Now with that charger there, all the cameramen were seeing me do it. They need to charge their batteries. They have money, but they start coming and charging their shit. That's how I started to meet everybody. And then next thing you know, I have the biggest network because I'm charging everyone's batteries, bro. Right? And now the next thing you know, I'm living at the Oakley house.
All right, so you moved into the Oakley house, and you
just moved in.
Like
I wasn't even sponsored.
Thing.
I wasn't even sponsored. No, I was moved in, and Danny Fuller's like, "Who's this guy right here?" And Danny Fuller asked me who I was, and I was just like, "I'm the best editor in Hawaii." Like an editor.
That's what you said.
Yeah, like not a director. I'm the best editor in Hawaii. Like but like I was the only one in the surf industry that did that. Like my age, right? I didn't know what I was talking about. He like believed me too. And then next thing you know, he's like, "Okay, bro, come." And he had like a MacBook. And he had all this footage, and he's like, "Let's make a video for Ruka." Dude, it's YouTube just started. It's just ancient, bro. Like making a YouTube, like a video with music. Bro, we created that shit, dude. We made Ruka's first video. Okay, I made Surfline's first music video to surfing. It had Adele rolling in the deep. We never even knew you needed a license, bro. We posted that thing on Surfline right there. Surfline said, "Oh shit, we just got flagged." Oh no, Surfline's the biggest company in the world for watching, right? And so my first two videos were the first video ever made for Ruka, and Makua had just left. He won the Sunset Cup. He had the Hurley sticker on his board, and then he wanted to ride for Ruka with Danny. He took the Hurley sticker off. He put the Ruka sticker on. He paddled out to the Waimea Bay, and that's when Ruka was born in the surf industry. When they saw that on Makua's board, and then Danny was Makua allowed Danny to be signed to Ruka because he gave some of his paycheck to be given to Danny so he could be partners. Makua founded that company, bro. You know what I mean? Like he really did all of that with Ruka. So me and Danny make the video. We send it to Pat Tenori. Pat Tenori loves it. Now all of a sudden this idea of a cinematographer and a job's going to happen, right? This position doesn't exist, Kamaka. There was never an in-house video person at any surf company in the world. And so we go and I make one more video called The North Shore Experience, and the winter's over, okay? Now, like, we're on a roll here. We have momentum, right? It's either like I run out of money and I go homeless over there and have to go back to Kauai. Never go back to Kauai. Like, I cannot go back. I'm going to die if I go back. And I'm just like, I have $400, and Uncle Eddie Rothman gave me my first real camera. After, oh, and by the way, at the Oakley house, Makua came over and he took all my stuff. So when I came back, I was like, "Where's my stuff?" And Rico Jimenez was like, "Makua took it." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get lickings." I'm thinking because back on the North Shore they were beating the shit out of everyone for nothing. And so I go to Makua's, and Makua's like, "Come upstairs." I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get licked upstairs." Like, it was scary, bro. So I go upstairs, and Makua had built me a desk. And like had a computer, and he's like, "You're gonna live here now," And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" Like, thank you, brother. Like, and I still never trusted him. Like, I just never trusted him because they're so scary back then, yeah. And then he's my best friend today. Now, like, has my back no matter what. And so when the winter was over, they're all leaving, and I'm just like, I gotta go to California and force my way into getting this job. And so like I book a ticket with buddy pass for my auntie, $400. I remember my auntie being like, "You shouldn't go to California for $400. What are you gonna do up there for 2 days?" Everyone's always doubted everything. My auntie believes in me, but she's a realist. Logic, right? Why would you go to California with $400 trying to chase a dream for a position that doesn't exist? I go to Cali. I live there for 2.5 months with Tyler. Right when all things are about to just have to give up with no choice, I get the call from Pat, and they created a position for me. After that, Hurley got one, and that's birthing that. And then I worked with BJ Penn with Nick Diaz fight, and then I created I called the show the Road to UFC 137. And this thing. They call the show The Road to UFC 137.
Mm-hmm.
The UFC's show today is called The Road. So I created that name and that concept idea. Yeah. So the Road to UFC 137 was with BJ and Nick Diaz's fight, and he's like with his daughter and all that stuff. And they liked the show so much, UFC put it on their website. And I remember seeing it, I screenshot it, I was all stoked. And all of a sudden, like, their show was called The Road one day. Whatever, it doesn't matter, you know. And I went on to going back to the winter, doing my thing, and then again, craziest drug addiction ever. Like those oxy pills hit the streets and just started killing everybody. And he died like right away. And the whole North Shore was screwed. And then I just went from like literally Las Vegas stadiums to just like the darkest place in my life. Like opiates and that whole heroin scene is killing Native people. I've seen it kill so many Hawaiians, so many. 10 Hawaiians I know who are very good friends of mine, all of them dead. I've lost like 10 best friends to not just that, suicide or that.
Mm-hmm.
All Hawaiians and all over someone just answering the phone and just letting them feel away, right? It's sad, man. But that part of my life was gnarly. And so then like...
And what age were you at this point?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Dang.
That was crazy, bro. And I wasn't even 21 yet. I was getting in the clubs when I was 18.
So this was mostly just drug addiction. Where was alcohol mixed into it?
None, just those pills.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing them. Everyone I just said.
Well, I've heard stories of that whole North Shore scene.
Yeah.
Just the surfing culture, right?
Yeah, the main people though, like the main people, like and like the execs, like everybody had no idea what was going on. We didn't know those drugs were going to do that to us.
Mm-hmm.
We had no idea.
And how were you getting them?
There was always one person that had them.
Just everybody.
One of the boys
that
had
one
them.
weed dealer.
Some asshole hurt himself and got a script.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there, you know? There was always some like rich guy's son who's like a corporation, you know? It was just there. But all it took is, the thing was the federal government deployed special licenses for these doctors. It's called pain management doctors to just be created. So pain management practices started popping up for athletes and everything. And they would make money making scripts. The government was giving these scripts, and it was the heroin from the poppy fields in Afghanistan. The Cheney administration made these things and wanted to push them to America. It was a situation. It was a full setup. They got the whole nation. They got sued for billions of dollars for doing that. And it killed like a lot of people. And so I'm the only one that got really, really crazy because I'm a committer. You know, like I'm someone.
If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it 100%.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do anything necessary. And so like after, you know. Then it started to slowly just go downhill. Like the winter ended. Like I remember like Makua guys like, you're out of hand. They took the cameras back, and then I went back to Kauai. And I remember it's kind of fucked up because it's like I seen like Ruka and Pat Tenori, they put so much people through rehab, but they didn't give a shit about me. They just let me go. You know? Back to it's like crazy, bro. Like it's just like it just kind of hurts my feelings sometimes. It's like I created your branding, bro. Like fuck your athletes. Your athletes are nobody without me. That's a fact. Your company, your brand, your image, the way it is perceived to the world, I created that. And yet filmmakers are the worst treated people. And so that's why like I just had to become someone where you can't treat me that way anymore. And over time. So when I went to Kauai, I was just losing my mind bad. Like you imagine having that lifestyle and then it's gone. And you're just like you were. I was like I'm not gonna say I don't know how to phrase it, but like I'm a gangster. Like I grew up like that, like surfing, fighting, drugs, adulthood was that. In Kauai, it doesn't matter how much money you have. In Kauai, if you're rich, you're worse off. In Kauai, it doesn't matter if your girlfriend's beautiful. It doesn't matter what kind of truck you have, although trucks are pretty cool. The only thing that matters, the only fame in Hawaii, in Kauai, is if you can fight or not. Are you respected? That is it. Respect. You would literally throw down, like, I watched people die, be half paralyzed from fighting. Respect was so important, bro. If you drove too fast, lickings in the parking lot. If you spoke out of tune, lickings. If you have like beers in your truck, but you didn't bring enough for the boys, lickings. If you're not one of them, right? If you accidentally talk to any of the boys' girlfriends, lickings. Bro, we used to drive around as kids and be so scared to run into the boys. Like this is how I grew up. So when I moved back, I am one of the boys now, right? I've already paid my dues. And with that comes a little power in Kauai. Get what you want, but it runs out quick. Next thing you know, I'm facing 15 years in prison with a $150,000 bail. Oof. On the front page of the newspapers and all over Hawaii news now. I hate Hawaii news now, bro. They blasted my image for no reason, bro. It was so lame. For a crime I never committed, by the way, that was completely not attached to that in any way or form. And they called us the burglary ring, like mass ring of burglaries from the North Shore. I didn't have nothing to do with that. I fell asleep in the car. I had no idea, but it's regardless. I don't regret any of it because it was a part of the story and it had to happen. And if God wanted me to go down that path, I realized in prison when I was sitting in the hole facing 15 years and 100 days had gone by and I was in prison. I was in the segregation unit because I was going crazy in the cell because it's like 8 people, 23-hour lockdown a day, 1 hour outside. That is gnarly. And I flooded the cell so I could go into the hole and be alone like Bruce Lee for
like the hole. What is the hole?
The segregation unit.
Like what is that?
It's like a room as big as this couch right here. And there's a bed and there's a toilet and that's it. It's that big. It's a hole. It's a little tiny room.
Maybe like a 10 by 10.
Yeah, with a bunk bed and a toilet and a sink. And it's dark. So like there's a little window they check and they open it and they look to see if you're still alive and then they close it. It's just like a head count. And they feed you through a mail slit.
Yeah, like pull it up.
No, it's like a slit for mail.
Oh, wow.
And like I imagine like from the outside looking, it's like an animal.
Yeah.
I felt like a dog, and I was in there by myself for 30 days, just chilling.
Did that change your life?
Yeah, when I got out, I was talking to myself. But like I would just walk in the yard alone and just think, and it made my mind very strong. But any longer, I definitely would have lost it. I know some people that have done like 5 to 7, 10 years in there, and they're like fine. Maybe not, but they have very good control. Like,
so how long were you in, like in total?
In total, like a year. So like I bailed out for $150,000. Like my auntie put her house up, and then I went to like a rehab thing at Hinamauka, and then what really helped me was the church, like Hope Chapel, the most loving community of all time, like Trevor and Tate and Justin and all the people over there. I was going from the rehab and I was going there, and they found out I could do video stuff, and brother, they're so loving, bro. I was like, can I help you guys like make films? Like I have, I got the cover of the midweek magazine, I showed them that, oh yeah, sure. But they took me under their wing and they just started like, I was on the morning announcements a month in on the church, bro. Like the whole thousands of people, and I'm on the church giving morning announcements, talking about what's happening. And then I met the greatest girlfriend ever in there. Her name was Ashley Childs. That person helped me. I would be dead without that person. And right when I was like, we started dating, I was like, oh, I got to go get sentenced because I was in 100 days, right? I thought I was gonna get probation. The prosecutor told the judge, don't send me back to jail because he's doing really well and it'd be destabilizing. This judge didn't give a shit. He was just like, you know what? We're going to give you a deferred acceptance. It means they wipe all my charges. I had like 20-something felonies. Wipe it off your record, but you have to complete whole probation. And so I complete, the judge is like, you have to pay for what you did. I don't care what the prosecutor is saying. I must have robbed someone he knew. Honestly, it was very biased, bro. It wasn't fair. And the guy gives me like 8 more months. Like
so you had to go back to prison?
Yeah, like I literally I got my job back from Ruka. I was set to start within a couple of weeks. Got it back, bro. Like $15,000, which is a lot of money to me back then for the month. I made a big proposal and I did it. I have the girlfriend of a lifetime, so beautiful. Like my dreams are have come to life. I've flipped my life around. I've been sober for 2 years already. And then I said, bro, can you imagine going back to prison straight sober, like completely fine? Like Dude, it was crazy, bro. That girl stayed with me the whole time, wrote me letters every day. And then when I got out, she flew to Oahu, and then and the things, people's lives go in different directions, and I was dead set on becoming the greatest filmmaker of all time.
And then at what age were at this point?
24.
24.
2014.
So this is about a decade ago.
Yeah. So from 2014, I just didn't stop.
So that was like, you got out and you're just like, I'm ready to just make a name for myself.
Oh yeah. And but I started from the worst position possible. Everyone
from the bottom.
Everyone hated me.
Yeah.
Everyone hated me. Everywhere I go, people are like, you ripped off this, you ripped off that, and hated me. The whole world hated me. I had not one friend. I remember I got a little job for $500 and I bought a Kawasaki Ninja street bike because I couldn't drive because I went on high-speed chases before. And
you got to tell me those stories off the podcast.
And so, and then I would ride the street bike just like when I was a child. Now, every 5 o'clock every morning, only have a street bike now. Mm-hmm. And I would pull up to the Ruka house and I would just film for free because I had to take it to the chin. Someone else got the job the second year. So I shot for free all that winter and out-created everybody on the North Shore for free, just to teach everyone a lesson that I'm the best. And then the next year, I got Rockstar, Hurley, Ruka, stacked them all up one by one. And then, it was great. I've had so many others. And then I found an amazing girlfriend. The other one that stayed with me in prison, she lived in North Dakota, so we grew apart. Mm-hmm. So then I had a fiance. At the peak of my life. You were engaged. Peak of my life, at the time. So this is at 27 now, okay? Dang. We are typhooning in the industry of surfing. It's like Miko Rothman, Nathan, and Eli, and we're just killing the game, killing it. Like movie premieres around the whole state of, around California. We've hosted 3 sold-out, multi-thousand people premieres at the Modern. Biggest nights the Modern's ever had in that big ballroom. Where's the red carpet? It's like showing people how this shit's got to be done, bro. Like proper typhooning. Billy Kemper was winning the Ride of the Year and the Piahi contest with the same wave. I filmed that. Billy wins 4 years in a row. Like, bro, we are just murdering the game. From filmmaking to surfing, like we are the industry. We are the culture. We are everything. And all the way up. And then my fiance leaves me in like the most horrific fashion on a press junket for one of our movies, Shadow Company with Kauai guys. Mm-hmm. I've never felt more pain in my life. I cried like a wailing dead animal for like 7 days straight, nonstop. Never ate. I remember flying. It was in San Francisco where she left. She just jumped on a plane and dipped. And I was like, I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything wrong at all. It was a psychotic break, and it was like we're about to get married a month from there. And just like this whole, it was really sad. It just was sad. And so I remember sitting in the airplane flying back, and I was just crying the entire time profusely, like next to everyone standing next to me, mm-hmm. like all the people sitting next to me. And so then I get back, and then I have this movie premiere, Shadow Company in Kauai. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the Modern. And that was the last time I will ever feel like that pain again. Mm-hmm. Like from that moment forward, I was just like, you know what, bro? I don't care. I believe in respect, and I respect myself, and I'm done like trying to find happiness in other people. I'm gonna find happiness in being the best person I can be and being the biggest influence that I can be, the most inspiring person I can be. And my life is at the service of my people, my native people, my culture, my friends, and I would just dedicate it and then Jason hired me right after that. I made a show called Born and Raised that said the kings of big wave surfing are Kai Lenny, Makua Rothman, Billy Kemper, and Koa Rothman before they were. Mm-hmm. And the show is on Fox. And Billy just won the world title on that show. And that was like a parting gift to Hawaii, because right after that, Jason narrated the thing. And so then when Jason Momoa called me, I didn't believe it was him first. I was being pranked, but he had followed me a year before. And the day he followed me, I made every video I made for that guy. following me without him knowing. Every single video tailored to their style, going as hard as I can. It was the most active year I ever had in my life because that man was following me, and he hired me because of it.
Smart. So you knew that he was looking at your content, so you're like, okay, I gotta this is like an audition right now.
Yeah, I looked at the kind of filmmaking he likes, and then I did it. Like, and I just what made him notice me was one shot, like one clip. It was what triggered it, and it was of Ulu na Piahi, a native Hawaiian, always a Hawaiian. Hawaiians are responsible for everything that I am successful for. The Hawaiian culture is the only reason I have success. And it was Ulu Boy that gave me that opportunity with Jason Momoa, because he's standing with his surfboard and he's in a silhouette, and the waves hit the rocks behind him and they blow up like 100 feet. And this beautiful shot of power and destruction. And his movie Ulu na Piahi won all these film festivals I made with him. I love Ulu. And boom. Jason saw the waves explode, and then his mind exploded. And then after that, me and Jason, I love it. We sat at the Sundance Film Festival panel, and I'm talking to all the biggest network of Vanity Fair and everybody. It's just me and Jason just talking story, like just baptizing the Sundance, just two Hawaiians in Paris, you know? And Will Smith, Kylie Jenner, Madeline Petch, their people were next to us, but it was about us, because like we created the YouTube template for celebrity profiles, you know? Like, a lot of the people don't know, like, Nathan Florence and Koa Rothman's vlogs are, like, the biggest ones. I made their first videos. That's a fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like, The Shadow Company, the Wave of the Winter, Born and Raised, that is what gave them their relevancy to take the traction and run and become who they are today, because you create that relevancy because I want to make it. I want to become famous. I want to get this done. So who my friends are, we're going to go there too, because that's just the way I am. You have to become successful if you're around me, or you can't hang out. Like, we have to just make it at all costs. And I miss that so much, brother. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. Once everybody gets to their own place and they do their own thing, they're doing their thing, right? But their greatest accomplishments they will ever have will and always have been with me, rolling with them. It's just us two. Makua's world title was with me. Billy's world title was with me. The best year Kailani's had in the press and in waves was with me. Jason Momoa's entire massive blowout fame, biggest movies he's done, with me. Like, Landon McNamara's biggest song he's ever made, Lost for Words, I wrote and curated all his music videos and branded that guy's image with me. Kualoa Ranch with me. No one fails when they're fucking working with me, bro. It's just inevitable, because I will not let you down, because you have to make it, because you have a voice. I am not making this, what I'm making, I'm not making this because someone paid me to. They ain't paying me shit. I'm making this for the culture. But if I say I'm going to make something of you and you believe in me enough to do the work, I'm going to make you what the hell the world needs to understand about who you are, what you're doing, and I need to make you be a platform, be a voice, and be a light. And don't you ever forget that fucking culture, right? But they all do, except for Makua. You know, they all do. And it's like the Constitution. General Mark Milley, the one who President Trump hates, but he appointed him. He's the leader of the entire United States military. These are the kind of guys I roll with, bro. You know, all these haters out here in Hawaii that I need to understand how to have aloha. I be operating on levels today. Now we're here right now, Kamaka. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that to get here. You know, all of that. And like with the Jason things around the world, it's like we went to Jordan, the Jordan Desert, Wadi Rum. I lived in Budapest over there. Had a whole family. No, I'm just joking. But that was over there. And then I lived in Vancouver for a long time, LA for a long time. So yeah, the Middle East, LA, Vancouver, California, Detroit, Newfoundland, Canada, Japan, London, Philippines. Bro, I have been around the damn world. I just haven't been to Russia. And so all of that, bro, learning from the best. I learned how to become a narrative feature film director from Denis Villeneuve himself on the movie Dune. I shadowed every move that director. He's my favorite director. My first real movie was with Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Jacques Brolin, and Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa on the side. You know what I mean? Like, but those actors, it's like, get out of the way. Boss level. Javier Bardem's my favorite. He's the one from No Country for Old Men, like crazy assassin. And Penelope Cruz and I were just hanging out, chilling at the pool every other day. Me and Penelope cruising. That's his wife, yeah? I love Hawaii. I don't understand these levels, bro. It's crazy. I'm sitting in Jordan and the water's aqua green and I'm just on a jet ski with Penelope, just chilling, bro. Like, this is psychotic. I grew up watching Dune. I mean the movie Blow and all these things, right? And now you're just chilling. But Johnny Depp's bodyguard said I had the same eyes as him one time. He was on our flight. But you're just associating with this level. When I was going to the Oscars, I was just chilling. There's a big line of cars trying to get there, right? I looked to the side, just crack my neck. Adam Driver's like right here with his car. You know, like, I'm like, yo, Kylo Ren. And he just rolls his window up. He's not having it. You know what I mean? Celebrities, I just mess with them hard because they're so calloused already, you know? They just had it with people. But it's just funny, you know, like the Hollywood fame and those people, it's like an island. Hollywood's like an island. It's very small. You're going to see all these celebrities hanging around and doing their thing. And out of all of them, there's only like 5 to 10% who are like me or you, happy, and who are just hammers, bro. The rest are lost, depressed, sad, empty people, bro. And may God save them, you know? But I don't know. Only Aloha can heal them.
Totally, yeah.
You know?
And we'll get into the Aloha stuff. I'm sorry to cut you off there because I gotta go take a shishi break.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We'll come right back.
Go pee.
Yeah. We'll take a quick shishi break. We'll come back with social media fan questions.
Go pee.
Okay. We'll be right back.
With 0 alcohol, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. Kolea brings aloha in every bubble.
All right, we're back from a quick shishi break. Mahalo to Kolea Sparkling Hot Water for providing the best quality shishi in town. How you liking the drink? And your Oreos, your mini Oreos.
Ko'olea. What
Ko'olea.
What does it mean?
Ko'olea is the bird.
What kind of bird is that? Is that the Alaska one? That's the Alaska one.
I don't know what the name in English is.
That's the one. That's the Alaskan one that flies from Alaska, right?
Maybe.
It looks like him.
Yeah, I remember looking it up, but I can't remember.
That toy looks like that little long-legged bird. From
yeah,
Alaska.
it's similar to that. Yeah, I guess I gotta look it up more.
Yeah, bro. Have you ever had a nene goose lalau before?
No. You can't. You're joking, right? Because you can't eat it. Yeah. Maybe a cola. I don't know, but yeah. Well, moving on.
I know.
All right. Let's get into the social media fan questions presented by Kolea Sparkling Hot Water, okay? All right. And then Lau Bird Lover. First question comes from Meg Lovin. This person says, how has growing up on Kauai impacted your life? I mean, we heard.
I wonder if I know that person.
We heard your whole backstory in the beginning, and
how did it grow up? How did it impact your life? It made me a straight hammer of the highest level, like a savage of unfathomable proportions, and it was the worst upbringing you could fathom. It wasn't safe. It wasn't like a good example. But I love it. I love every moment of the trauma. I love it. Now that it was over, I love it. Those memories do not haunt me. The memories that haunt me are the decisions made by my parents. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like, I get the shit beaten out of me. And I give plenty lickings too. Let's not get things mistaken. Guys got cracks. Growing up, it's like that. You have to show respect.
Take some, you give some.
Aloha is everything. Aloha, too, is like, I might have to slap you to show you how to live aloha. For real. You know what I mean? Like, guys, come to a time, bro, like, I got, like, the guys that are like, 38 years old, I'm 16, break my eardrum from a slap. Just because I didn't know I was being disrespectful, right? Every time you walk, you're hearing a doom, 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 right? Hey, you'll never forget not to be respectful, right? Or you see horrible things happen to other people You'll never forget not to be respectful. And when I went back to Kauai to my best friend wedding, Joy Coheen, I'm married to this amazing woman of his. I went up to every single one of the people that beat the shit out of me when I was a kid to teach me, respect. And I told him, thank you so much for slapping the shit out of me, brother. And Dustin Barker's like, bro, get away from me, bro. You're being weird. I'm like, no, I'm serious, Ryan. Thank you. And like, they're not like that anymore. They're very like, it's almost like their actions haunt them today. Like the savagery that like these guys want blood. Like they want, if you're not bleeding, they're not satisfied. And once you do start bleeding, they want to see more. And it's scary, bro. Like I grew up in a place that is like nothing you have ever seen. And it was just that window of time. Like with the Andy Irons and like the Kaili Olanolans, Jesse Olan. Listen to that name. Kaili Olanolan. You don't want lickings from that guy. Joseph Coheen. These are hammers, bro. You know what I mean? Like Ryan Ham Young, Hammy. You don't want that smoke. You know what I mean? These guys are bangers, bro. Like, people run for their lives when they're mad. Like, they'll be calling out 100 people in a park, and everyone's running like it's Godzilla. Like, we grew up with the poor kids. We're such poor kids, dude. Such poor kids, both metaphorically and real, right? So it shaped me to be able to handle and survive. Nothing is hard for me because of that.
You've been through it all.
But I'm the only one that left and survived, I would say. Surviving means leaving to me and making it. If I went back to Kauai, I would destroy my life if I lived there. I can't live there.
Happy or not?
I just can't because I can't do anything there.
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing for me to do.
Here's a lot of opportunities, other stuff that we're working
Oahu,
on.
yeah. Oahu. But before I used to think Hawaii had none. That's why I went to Hollywood. Crawled my way over there. And because of Kauai and the upbringing I had, I saw that Hollywood is just like Kauai. It's a chain of command. It's a chain of command. And so this is what's good. Island lifestyle, Waianae neighborhood lifestyle, mayor rights lifestyle, Kalihi lifestyle. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the guys up in Waipahu, all the guys up in Eva, all the hammers, bro, all the real deal killers, like all the guys who have just had the shit end of the stick handed to them. You guys are the ones who can make it in this world. All the guys who are successful now, all the guys who had a good family upbringing. I'm sorry, guys. No disrespect, but the people who have had the worst lives are capable of the greatest accomplishments because it takes a lot of power and strength to be famous, to sustain fame, to handle fame, right? How much people we've seen just go crazy, right? Because that ain't bothering me. That's why I could keep it real my whole life. I've never changed. I watched Jason change. I watched Kai change. I watched Koa change. I watched Nathan change. And as long as they want to say change, fuck them. Straight up. With aloha, with love, and with the guidance of Akua and everything about me and my being, I wish you all peace and happiness. I really do. And I hope that you guys can find your way back to the culture that gave you everything you have, because you will never be happy here or in life without aloha. Your fans, that's sustainable happiness, bro. That's not sustainable. That is borrowed happiness. It's external. All this fame, all this wealth, all this stuff you put yourself through, none of that matters if your happiness and your purpose and your motivation comes from followers. You're not leading followers, bro. They're leading you because they are why you're happy. If you put your happiness in fame, you are putting your happiness in death itself, because fame is half of them don't like you. Half of them hate you. More than half. The other half love you. But if you don't give them what they want in a formidable time, they're going to hate you too. And what happens when your happiness hates you? Sad. You don't want to live anymore, bro. You know what I mean? And so fame is such a curse. And I don't ever want to be famous, but I do want influence. And if I could be famous for being the most realest human being there is, then I can handle that fame, because guys will know not to come up to me and be dumb, right? They'll be respectful, because me looking at you from afar and you not coming up to me wanting something, that's why you like me. You know what I mean? It's all you need, one quick nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about that your whole answer is that you've just been holding a mini Oreo in your hand the whole time talking about
Yeah.
these serious things.
I was thinking about the napakapaka, you know, the napakapaka flower?
Yeah.
The one from the mountain, the love story. Remember the two lovers
Yeah.
died and then the napakapaka. Yeah. But yeah. So given that saying, I never lost who I was because I was raised in Kauai.
Awesome.
I do not recommend anyone raise their kids there. And if you do, put them in the school Kamaka went to. Put them in a only Hawaiian speaking school or American Renaissance Academy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good answer. Next question comes from someone you might know, Jane Blue. She says, what's the longest all-nighter or nonstop workflow you've put on a project?
Sober or not? It's hard to tell.
I don't know. Let's both answers.
Like not sober?
I guess
not sober 5 days straight. Yeah, and then it ended with me getting arrested. And then
yeah, what about like recently? Like sober?
I can go a straight 3. Like just drinking lots of water and being very productive. If I sit still, I'll pass out. But here's the thing. When you stay up 24 hours straight working, you have to be drinking water. If you don't, you're going to feel like crap. But when the sun comes up, you have from the 6 o'clock a.m. to 11, it's going to be the worst of it. You might feel like shit, whatever. But just keep working and enjoy the sun. Do whatever. I don't care. I used to hate the sun. And now I can't stand not seeing it. As soon as you get to 11:30, it all goes away. All that pain goes away.
Comes away.
Well, you hit something called theta state. So billionaires wake up at 4 a.m. every morning, and they are most productive from 4 to 6. Well, I'm going 24 hours in that state. You see, because the 24 hours before is how you get to the theta state, because you're in a dream state. If I stop moving at theta, I will fall asleep immediately, which means my mind's in both places. Everything I've ever created has been in a theta state. The Elite's Atlas is entirely theta state. How are you going to colorize 600 photos and recreate every face you've ever seen in the Hawaiian monarchy? Normal.
Yeah, at 1 p.m.
Yeah, bro, just all day long. Time doesn't exist for me in that theta state. Nothing does. No time, no nothing. I recommend everyone try it, but you can't try it if you think you need sleep. If it's not cut out for you, it's not cut out for you. And don't chalk it up to doing drugs. There's tons of people that I work with side by side. No drugs are being done. It's just there's an explanation, guys, and it's called being tough. Like it's called drinking water. And wanting something so bad.
That's your drug.
It has to be done.
That ambition.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm not going to allow anyone to see weakness, right? Failing. And if I do fail, I'm going to wear it with pride. Like, I am a terrible person at painting cars. So bad. Dude, like, I ruined my 2022 Volkswagen Passat. It was a very sad moment. Like, I am so bad at painting. And that's an art.
Yeah.
Are you good at painting cars?
Art is my weakest suit.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a painter, drawer, nothing. Yeah.
I see the guys who are good at spraying cars, and they're just bradas, like random. Like they're not even artists.
I have a friend, that does it. Yeah.
Dude, that's the hardest art ever made.
Yeah.
Harder to do. It's harder than a painting. People who paint cars, Kamaka, do you understand how hard that is to do? Like I've
never done it, so I don't.
I've attempted 20 times, and I've probably wasted over $20,000 trying to paint cars. Probably more than the cars I was painting. I fail every time.
Dang.
Yeah. So yeah.
So 3 days, 5 days, not sober. Okay. Well, this is a good lead up to the next question. Comes from Kuakaloa. He says, how many hours do you sleep at night? I see you working all the time. Do you drink coffee? How are you always on?
I drink water.
Just water. You don't drink coffee.
I used to drink coffee, but the Laird Superfood Creamer screwed up my chemical balance in my mind, and it gave me a very bad panic attack. And ever since then, if I drink too much coffee, I can feel the panic. I'm not talking about a panic attack. I'm talking about I'm on the ground, paralyzed, teeth are needles, and I'm telling Leilani Wolfgram I'm going to have a heart attack. Leilani, drink water. Leilani Wolfgram's a great artist. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I know Sunshine. I think I like
Oh man,
that song.
yeah. And then Walking on a Wire. I'm walking on a live wire. Yeah, she's so good, bro. Leilani's the GOAT, bro. I had a very bad panic attack with her because of the Laird superfood creamer. We were driving to Palm Springs, and I kept drinking this coffee, and they kept creaming my stuff. Apparently, you're supposed to put 1 teaspoon. But I was putting like 20 because I wanted it creamy.
You're crazy.
Or it just went up.
You are insane.
Coffee, like maybe like a tiny, like if we do, let's say, Starbucks Frappuccino with a dirty chai. Chai Frappuccino with a shot of espresso, that's fine. I drink that, and then I will get a gallon of water. Squeeze like 2 lemons in that thing, and I will drink it all night. If I get tired, I'll drink it again. Because what happens is your internal organs don't shut down. You go to sleep because these things turn off, or they need to work. So if your internal organs need to break down food, they don't give a shit what you got. You're going to pass. You're going to get narcoleptic, right? And so I hate that. I hate getting narcoleptic. So the water keeps you having to go pee over and over and over and over and over, right? Going to pee is what wakes you up, right, when you're sleeping. So if you're constantly having to pee and you're constantly having your internal organs processing it, and then the acid in the lemons are electrolyting your body doesn't know it's not sleeping.
Dang.
It doesn't.
So you just life hacked sleep.
I'm the youngest looking 34-year-old person I know, right? I've lived a life. What would you say? I can say twice. I've lived a twice as longer life than anyone my age. Everyone's sleeping.
Yeah.
I have lived life, bro.
Okay, but how many hours would you say you get on average? Because you sleep at some point. You gotta sleep.
I just pass out anywhere I am. Like if
So you have no like people. I go to sleep at 11 o'clock every night. You're just like I sleep whenever my body shuts down.
I hate sleeping, bro. I cannot stand it.
What would you say you get on average in a day?
It's every other 2-3 days. Like it's honestly, I don't. So if I go down, it's gonna be like a 6 or 7 hour sleep at the most. But if I take like a 1 or 2 hour nap, I'm gonna be like completely fine. Or 30-minute nap. That's all it takes, bro. Like a little bit and you're fine. And I eat a lot of lactose bacillus siliciferus, which is like the super antioxidant, superfood, cancer curing. It regrew my teeth. I had cavities, big ones, and they were gonna root canal it. I was on the ground screaming and crying. It hurt so bad. I couldn't bite food. I couldn't drink water. I started stuffing the lactose bacillus siliciferus in the holes of the cavity. I just broke a chicken bone on my tooth the other day. It grew my whole tooth back, dude. I'm not joking. I'll show it to you. Okay. And so that's what I do. I eat the lactose bacillus siliciferus, a gallon of water and Myers lemons, and then like some sugar frappuccino, either like a McDonald's one or a Starbucks one. And between those 3 things, I'm more healthy than anyone, and I look younger than everyone else.
But you don't get to a point where you're like tired or like
no.
Like do you get to a point where you're working so much and you just like pass out and you're out for like I don't know half a day?
Of course, like that'll happen like twice a month.
Okay.
Like I'll go like twice.
Your body's just trying to catch up.
Usually I'll fall asleep on the keyboard, and then Jane will grab. I haven't tucked myself into a bed. Like went to a hotel, tucked myself. It's always a hotel because that's where you do something like that. Like maybe I've never had. I refuse to have a bedroom with a big bed and a nice setup to just tuck myself in. When I'm tucking myself in, I feel like I'm just blowing it. I was like, oh man, I guess I have to like. I'm just like. All right, I guess I'll just do it tomorrow and just like, this is, and I'll just pass out. You know, like I can fall asleep no matter what, anywhere, any place, no matter what, because it's just a meditation, right? Like there's levels to this shit. Like your mind can do this. Like if I meditate and I close my eyes and I repeat my mantra a couple times, I'll start imagining something. As I'm imagining it, I'll switch the imagination over to a dream and I'll fall asleep like that. It's called
crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. So tell him drink water and look up lactose bacillus siliciferus. Okay. And you can handle like a radiation poisoning from a nuclear blast, like the people in Chernobyl. That's what they're taking. Nuts. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. All right. This next question, I'm not really sure if you know the answer to this. It's from Hamotron 9000. This
Hamotron 9000.
I know, right?
Heavy,
that's a good username. Tell us about Coulter Wall.
Oh, he's a big country musician. He sounds like Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay.
Coulter's a very reserved human being, and when you first meet him, he just like doesn't like you.
So what is
And
it? What's
then
your connection to Coulter Wall?
we kind of boosted up his career quite a lot. He's probably one of the biggest country musicians, like in that genre there is.
Okay.
He's huge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so, here the devil wears a suit and tie. See John down for
So he's like a country Johnny Cash kind of thing.
Yeah, he sounds just like him.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
I'll go look him up. I was just like, I don't know.
I like
what
Coulter.
this
You know, it's weird. So he's such a talent. He has such a great voice that the songs he sings convince you they're him and that he's written them. And then you find out he never wrote any of them. And he's that type of artist where the voice is so good, the song sounds like it's his.
Yeah.
And you're so connected to it that when you find out it's not, it kind of like is like, oh shit, I thought that was you. But he openly says, oh, this song was written by such and such, you know? And I don't know, I feel that it really bothers musicians, and maybe it doesn't. Like Kanye collaborates with like 25, 35 people. You know, people are really hung up on people who write lyrics, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you have a very strong connection with an artist and they don't write those lyrics, it's kind of heartbreaking. Yeah, but Coulter Wall is the man. He has a lot of songs he has written that are so good. So what was he like? He was...
No, he just says, tell us about Coulter Wall. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I have the best story.
Yeah.
I got sent by Harley Davidson to give him a free Harley. So I go to like Milwaukee or some shit like that. Where Harley Davidson's capital.
Yeah, I'm
places.
going to look him up.
I'm in Milwaukee, okay? Now, this is so funny. So I meet the Harley exec there. We're going to go capture Coulter Wall performing at this like building, sold out arena, okay? And this is when I'm like a Travis Scott fanboy of the highest level.
He looks like a cowboy.
Right? No, yeah, he lives in Canada, and he's like full just like cowboy. But bro, so I get there to Milwaukee, I meet with the Harley Davidson exec. I go to watch him perform. Across the street, bro, there's an Astro World Travis Scott concert about to start. I have a midlife crisis, bro. I'm like, fuck Coulter Wall, I want to go watch Trav. I've never seen Travis Scott perform. This is Astro World. There's a roller coaster in the show. And I contemplate life. I'm like, I shouldn't. You know what I mean? But like, I should. So I look at the tickets. Bro, floor front row is $150. I'm just like, bro, what the? I could like look at, me and Travis could talk story right now. But I end up doing the right thing because I'm a good person and I shouldn't be sometimes. And I go film Coulter, whatever. Next morning, I guess he had, so I go backstage and me and Coulter are friends at this point. Me and Jason, when me and Jason first met Coulter hated Jason. He just like was over us. Like, he's just like, who are these guys? Like, but then we kept coming. And then Coulter's like, okay, mom, you know what I mean? And like, it just takes time. Coulter's a real deal guy. Like, no one sings like that. And they're just, hey, how are you doing? You know what I mean? I remember Jason was like all excited. Like, he's such a fanboy. And like, Coulter's sitting there, he's like, come on, bro. Like, grab it. And Coulter like jumped, like, just like, ow, that hurt, you know? And so I meet, the plan for the Harley Milwaukee shoot was to give Coulter a Harley Davidson for free. Jason was such a fanboy on Coulter, he wanted to give him a motorcycle. So he set up this extravagant tour of Harley's museum to give Coulter a motorcycle. You know, like, I wish someone did that for me. So apparently Coulter and his boys got a little too effed up the night before. Way too drunk. With a bunch of women, and I don't know. The manager is with us, and she's just like, he's coming. And I'm like, am I really waiting for this artist right now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a huge fan, but I love him. But it's not worth me waiting here for an hour at Harley Davidson. Like, I got things to do. And so, in Milwaukee, okay, let's just keep it Milwaukee, okay? He finally pulls up. He has no idea what we're doing there. And he's like, why does this woman want us to come to the Harley Davidson place? And he's so swollen from being drunk. Like, they're just swollen and just piles. And here's a camera in your face. And so we're walking, filming him. And then the bike, they present the bike. Coulter just doesn't give a shit. It's just like, wow. And I'm like filming it. And then like, he's all stoked. I cut together a really good video of this because like I just was on one like documenting the concert. It was really good. I'm gonna release it after this. And Coulter calls the agent and says, "Don't release that. You don't have my permission to release any of that." And kept the bike.
Oh.
And shipped it up to his farm and rides it on his farm, I guess. But he was like, no one's seeing me hungover. So that's my Coulter story.
That's a good story. Thanks for sharing that. I'll go look up his music after.
I was kind of pissed off after that. Yeah, but we're cool. Every time you see me, he's happy. But
yeah.
I'm gonna release that video now.
Yeah,
it's a really good video, bro. Given like
now we know the story. Okay, last question comes from Leona Lenny on Patreon. This person says, "What is the hardest thing about being a filmmaker? What do you love most about it?"
The hardest thing about being a filmmaker?
Yeah.
Getting someone to pay you for your vision, I think, yeah.
Well, believe in you first, right? Because they have to believe in you to pay.
No,
you.
they can pay you if they want to write off. They don't got to believe in nothing, yeah. I think that. Let me rephrase that. Finding a way to go to work. Yeah. While everyone wakes up every morning and goes and sits in traffic, I wake up and think, how do I go sit in traffic? How can I go to work, right? And there's two versions of those people in the traffic. Traffic is traffic's my metaphor jam. I love traffic. It's such a metaphor, bro, of stupidity and ingenuity and happiness. Like when you look into the cars, there could be someone just dancing. Like I'm always the one just like so psyched in the car, so happy to be in traffic because I'm happy to be alive, right? And I hope I infect people around. They're all seeing me. The windows are clear. Music's blasting. And I'm just having so much fun, right? And I just want to I'm in a $100,000 car and I am native Hawaiian and I shouldn't be in there. I shouldn't be wearing clothes like this. I shouldn't be everything I am. And that's why I'm celebrating. You know what I mean? While they sit in that car every day going to work, they're miserable in that traffic, right? I'm miserable in that traffic too, because I can't wait to get where I'm going. They're miserable because they don't want to go where they're going. There's a difference between loving what you do and hating what you do. If you love what you do, suffering, right? You like that? You love what you do, suffering is the time between us. If you hate what you do, suffering is the time with us, you know? And so that's what I love. I learned that from traffic. I'll stare on the balconies and look at it. I'll look at the behavior. What kind of cars are most aggressive? What color cars are most aggressive? It's a thing, bro. Like cars will act differently. Like red ones are always pricks. Like anyone with a red car.
That's true. It's usually the Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
Mustangs.
Yeah.
It.
Just like someone with like a guy with a girl's name. They're always going to be the ones that just like do some like they're gonna catch you. They're gonna catch you lacking. You know what I mean? Because they're always looking for it. Because they've been like teased their whole life. You know what I'm saying? And so like they're just looking for anything to get. And so that's what the red cars too. I feel like those guys may suffer from that too. And so yeah, but the question about what I love about it is that. So I've learned all those things about it. Filmmaking.
That's beautiful.
Paying attention to life and behavior. Oh, so yeah, the analogy of people and their cars doing things, that goes for humanity. It's like this is what I love about filmmaking. The way I get great is not from trying, not from practicing my camera angles, not from buying gear. Everybody always buys all kinds of gear and they're obsessed with this gear because they envision themselves doing it. I own one camera. I own one.
Yeah. If you're just listening right now, he's going to grab his big red camera.
What I love about filmmaking, okay?
It's this decked out big camera.
Thank you for that question.
But currently he's trying to get off of the tripod right now. I'm just narrating for the people listening. They're not.
Let me show you guys a man's
okay, he's got
camera.
it, and he's sitting back down,
That's
and
a
now
woman's
he's
camera
back in
too.
frame.
Look at the smoke.
You gotta move your mic closer to you. They can't hear you.
Look at the smoke of this camera. All right, this thing weighs like
It's heavy.
at least 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, You know, you can't be no weak human being if you're gonna wield
You gotta drink that water,
a
with lemon
Goliath
water.
sword like this. You know what I mean? When I'm on my off days, I just look at that. Okay, so this is what I love about filmmaking. Okay, look, I put Lahala wrapped around here, Lahala leather. Okay, look at this thing. This is my paintbrush. Okay, I built this. I dreamed of this. I remember when I first started, these things were $50,000, you know? And you couldn't afford one. But I said I'm gonna get one, right? And no one has a red like this. I made this thing and I got my dream camera, and it is one from like 7 years ago. And it is better than everyone's camera till today. It's a 5K, 120 frames a second in 5K. It shoots movies. It tells stories. I'm sorry. This is what I love about filmmaking, is being able to create something like this that can come everywhere with you and change anyone's life, change anything from happening, save someone's life, save the land, save the ocean, tell a story, make you millions of dollars, elevate a culture. Like, this is filmmaking.
Yeah, that's a hefty camera.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I said that was the last question, but I missed one.
Sorry.
And it's about filmmaking, since you have the red camera out. How many people in total worked on editing your feature film Peahi?
No one, just me.
So basically, it was just you alone with that camera.
For a year and a half.
You had no like people doing sounds, no people doing.
I sound designed it, 40 layers. The last 30 minutes of the movie had no sound because it was all with water housings. I think I did a really good job on the sound. The sound it should be nominated for an Oscar for sound. It's crazy, bro. Like, to redesign and recreate all the movies I've ever seen in my life, the sound in the ocean was not real. It wasn't the real deal, right? Like, I recorded the real deal. Yeah. Like, the sizzling of bubbles and jet skis roaring and waves breaking from 100 yards, 50 yards, 20 yards. I even put my jet ski in the barrel so you could hear the waves. You know, there's a moment where a wave does this. It feathers and then it throws. And before it throws and makes contact, it goes... boom. There's just like a whistle of just pure aqua, just mananalu, just throwing through the air. And when it hits that ground, that sound I tried to capture for days. And I got it, you know? I got it. It's such an eerie sound, bro. It's just...
It's crazy after watching your film Peahi to know that was made by one person.
The whole thing.
The best movie I've ever made that was produced in Hawaii was made by one singular person, edited by one singular person.
Filmed, shot, directed, edited, wrote, produced.
I thought you were crazy at first. Like, you're saying all of this, but like, I got to know you and I saw the work and I hear the behind the scenes story. I see what you do. And it's really just you. Yeah. You know, you're not saying these things to like make yourself sound cooler. You know, like, oh, I did it all on my own, or da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. You know how people make up stories. I used to be homeless when they were just like sleeping on their parents' couch or something, just to make it more dramatic, make the story more dramatic.
Everyone's
like,
somehow been homeless.
I was addicted to something, but like, you really...
They just like drinking.
Yeah, you know, they try to, you know, they make it these hyperbolic statements. Oh, but you really like did it. And even I questioned it at first. But once I got to know you...
you know many people that do 300 fentanyl pills a month and sit here the way I am now and fine, right? Yeah. Who can just quit cold turkey with no rehab.
Yeah, it's like, how is this guy not on drugs doing all of these things?
Bro, and everyone thinks that I am too, and that's just funny because it's just like, bro, no, you are on the weekends, bro, and when you're celebrating, and
you are an alien. Yeah, you're an alien.
They're over there doing drugs, not doing anything. They're like partying and having fun. I'm like, I don't want to party and have fun and look for chicks, bro. If I can do what I want, bro, chicks come to me. You know what I mean? Like, I can just have...
Yeah, don't chase the trap.
Be yourself and be real, and don't dream, live, bro. Imagine what you want. I'm done saying dream too. I don't say if anymore. I don't say believe. I know, right? Knowing is to know. The belief is a doubt. You all believe in God. I know God. And I know that death is bullshit too. Like, if you believe that you're going to die and no, there's one thing, everyone in this world knows one thing. They're going to die at 100. That's the only thing anyone in this world knows. Everyone in this
you
world
can make it to 100.
believes in God. Yeah, they don't even know they're going to make it there, but they believe in God, right? They believe in God. They know they're going to die, okay? When you believe in God and you know you're going to die, when do you meet your God? When you die, right? So you worship death. All of these people that worship time, you live by it. Zoom out of our world and look at the universe and look at when the Earth's a small little circle. Where's the time? It's just a shadow. Time's a shadow. And shadows are not real. They're just light lacking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when you want to take it to another level and just break everyone's mind on this podcast right now, I stopped using the word darkness to describe evil and bad things. Because darkness is just light moving so fast, you can't see it. A woman named Kelly Lauren told me that one time. And I was just like, you just broke my entire idea of the universe in half. Because why is there only a little bit of stars, a little bit light, and everything else is dark? God is darkness, but what is light? It's slowed down dark matter. So technically everything is just light, and we're just floating in it. And
you gotta be like Bane in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, bro.
You said
it.
darkness is your ally.
I was raised in it. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm serious, bro. And it's like, people just gotta know time is bullshit. Needing to sleep, bullshit. I'm sorry. Time, a'ole.
A'ole time.
Needing to
A'ole
sleep,
TNT.
a'ole.
Okay.
Doubts, a'ole. And just put it this way, I really want to burn this message into everyone's heads at this podcast. If you think and believe and worship time, you're gonna believe and kill yourself. You're gonna believe yourself to death. If you believe you only live to 100 years old, you are telling yourself your whole life that is reality. If you guys believe in God, which I do, have you ever read the Bible? Because in the Bible, Noah's like 900 years old. Solomon's like 2,000 years old. All the kings back then are thousands of years old. And when you think about the math, they didn't think about time back then. They thought about existing and surviving. There's an immortal jellyfish at the bottom of the ocean that when it gets hurt, it just goes back to the ocean, turns into a little baby and regenerates itself, right? Because all it thinks about surviving. If you think about surviving instead of dying, you think you're going to get wrinkles at 30, your ass is going to get wrinkles at 30, bro. You want to get Botox at 31 because your eyes, how many times are you looking at your eyes, squinting, looking at it? Like, you're making it. Like, do that, bro. I'm 34 years old. I've stayed up. I have lived a life double because I haven't slept those hours everyone else is, right? So if sleeping, you need your sleep and you need this, then why do I have this? Why do I have all of this? You know, people who sleep are more unhealthy than I am. I'm very healthy, right? So everything that they are saying, everything that they're believing, that's why I love the Hawaiian culture so much, because the Hawaiian culture says what I'm saying, bro. Our language is non-linear. Akua is abundance. Everything, bro. Just heali'i ka'aina ke kawa ke kanaka. Land is chief and man is servant. It is, right? And I'm a servant to the land. That's a fact. And I'm one of the only people, besides yourself, you have land that you work on and cherish every day. You do not see... Today we live in a world where man is chief, land is servant. Do you see that? Do you feel that? Do you feel that you live that life? Do you think that you believe that?
I wouldn't say I believe it, but I would say that's probably what it is these days.
No, I said your daily life. How do you operate?
I mean, that's my mindset.
Yeah.
Like like we don't own this. I don't believe anybody owns this.
Exactly.
The land is its own. We are tenants. We are servants, which is my nonprofit, Hawaiian.
Yeah.
We're tenants of the land.
Yeah.
We're friends of the land.
Yeah. Servants, And what do? You go out to that land and what? You work, right? Everyone goes out there.
Once I'm healthy.
Yeah, but people go out there and work.
Yeah,
right?
we have community work.
People go out there and sweat and put in work. Nobody there owns like what's crazy with that land. No one there is gonna make money off of that, doing that. Those people there are not doing. They're not putting they're putting their hard work and effort. They're coming together as a community. There's no Disneyland going up there. There's no golf course going up there. There's no epic return on there. No, those people are going to when I went there, they're all there just to plant plants.
Just to volunteer.
Just to plant plants, bro. Just to put in work because they feel like we should because that's respectful.
Yeah.
Bro, that's what everyone's got to get on. 90% of this podcast didn't even touch a fucking shovel in their life, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, I've planted like 5,000 plants. My auntie has been slave laboring me since I was like 8. You know how much holes I've dug, bro? on the property in Hau'ula? Tree after tree after tree after tree after tree. We have Lono's He'ia on our land, and we have the old Ahupua'a system from Hau'ula. And like, I have planted trees, my friend. And I hate it. But if I was of that land, if I have my home on that land, if I was my auntie, I would love it too because she bought that and that's hers, right? Like at the same time, she doesn't own it, right? But there is a sense of pride when you have a house on this piece. I want it to look beautiful, and someone else might not want it because they don't live there, right? I feel like everyone needs to understand that. I just learned something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mahalo for sharing that. This is, we're running really long on this episode, but I want to say mahalo, everybody, for the social media fan questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest. Maybe a question will make it on the podcast. Before we get into a really important topic, I want to know, because I ask all of my guests the same questions about keeping it aloha. In your life, how do you keep it aloha?
Just keep it real, bro. Aloha's not always nice, bro. You know what I mean? I have to fight for aloha every day. I have to fight so it doesn't go extinct, because it's very close to going extinct. And all these people that act like they ho'oponopono or act like they aloha, like I'm here to keep it real. I'm not here to fake anything. Like I am intense because right now we have to be intense. Because if I'm not, then who? If I'm not, then who puts the ali'i up on those walls? If I'm not, then how does my daughter learn about her culture? If I'm not, then how do I not put 90-foot kalakauas, kamehamehas, emmas, and kai'olanis on the buildings in Waikiki? When you drive down Waikiki Street, you're going to see 90-foot tall monarchs that I have put on those buildings for my daughter, for your daughter, your son, your girlfriend, your family, your culture, your friends. For all of us, bro. I'm not putting those things there for me. You understand that? I'm putting those things there because I love my culture. I love my culture. I can't have it die. And it makes me so mad when I see people not caring about that culture. Like aloha to me is being mad that people are not upholding aloha and our culture. Aloha to me is being motivated. Let's see, motivated. Okay, motivated that if I don't tell people our stories through my words, through my art, through my cinema, through my music, through my efforts, like I feel worthless if I don't. I don't do anything for myself. At the same time, we do everything for ourselves. I don't feel happy unless I am doing things for the culture, if I'm giving back to the culture. I don't feel happy if you're not rich too. I don't feel happy if our culture is not the most important and richest and desired thing in Hawaii, right? Like the ECOH's mission and purpose is to elevate the cultural lucrativity of the Hawaiian culture to make it a desired, loved, adorned, and sought after and highly valued asset to the world. Like aloha is like the new manners, or it's the new workout culture, it's the new grunge style, it's like the new gothic culture. We can make aloha culture a global thing. And you know how like people meditate? People they can do the same shit, but just being aloha. like, oh, that's not aloha. You know, like, and let me tell you all how to act with aloha. This is a quick little thing. There's a can right here. What is it? Kolea, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
For say that's your can, yeah? But I'm thirsty. I'm really thirsty.
Can you hold it up so people can
Yeah,
see?
I'm gonna grab it. But this is what aloha is. I'm really thirsty. But that's your can, okay? But I'm like really thirsty, okay? I might like get dehydrated type. But I don't know where you are, and I'm gonna die, right? So I go to reach for the cup. If you live with aloha, your hand's gonna stop before you touch it. And you're gonna be like, hold up, wait. I recommend everyone at home write a checklist of aloha.
Mm-hmm.
Is this respectful? Will this hurt his feelings? How much money do I have to pay him back for what I take? Make a list of things that you can do right, and will it hurt the one being affected? If it doesn't, and your friendship might mean your friendship is all good, then if I don't know you, then yeah, it might. Make your decision after you checklist those things. That's called that's an aloha state of mind. You know, a lot of Hawaiians can't explain aloha.
Mm-hmm.
Try ask them to tell you what it is. Let me tell you what it is. All 400 virtues.
Mm-hmm.
All things good with humanity. All love, all peace, all happiness, all feelings good. This is aloha. Asking plants how they are. Go up to a tree one day and just be like, how long have you been here for? Thank you for making some oxygen. You know, go to the generations of the millions of fish that have been murdered and tell them, thank you, brother. I'm sorry. You know, next time you pick a banana or an orange, explain to the tree why you're picking it. And ask, may I? Or would you like to be a part of the project next time you pick up a rock and make a rock wall? Rocks have rights too. You know what I'm saying? The land, the ocean, that's aloha. It's all aloha. Aloha is God. Aloha is us. Aloha is our blood, our heartbeat. Aloha are my words, mad or good. Because aloha is everything that we can learn from to understand that we are all the same people. The birds chirp to each other because they're communicating. That's aloha. They're chirping because they want to mate. They want to have love. They're calling out to each other. You see, birds, they only talk when they want to have love. We talk when we want to hurt each other, right? Aloha is understanding everything. Aloha is understanding the definition of mana. And like mental ingenuity, artistic creativity, mind power. Mana is mind power, not power. Mind power is aloha. If you can control your actions and your minds to be nothing but good, then you will have, and you are, and you have educated yourself in the ways of aloha. Aloha is an education about how to be a good person, but it's an action and it's a responsibility to uphold yourself, to have self-control, and to teach others how to have self-control. Aloha is being a good example. Aloha is everything good. Aloha is respect, right? Those two words are the same meaning.
Yeah. Like
Right?
what you explained.
So
earlier.
aloha is respect.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great way to keep it aloha.
I don't think anyone's explained aloha that hard before. Yeah, it's pretty
well,
nuts.
now they have, and they got
that was
the
the
Keep
most
It Aloha podcast.
impactful aloha of all time.
Yeah,
bro.
we'll cut it up and blast it on social media.
Mhm.
But okay, because we only have.
I don't want to go.
Maybe I know you can talk forever, and I know you can talk forever.
Tell Faith, come over here. We're gonna join the podcast. Faith.
We just gotta have you on another time in the future. But before we get to close the show, I know you have some things you want to say about Lahaina.
Mhm.
And that was about over a year ago, and it was definitely an impactful time in our history. Yeah, and now going on today as we recording, the Palisades fire just started.
Yeah.
Well, at least on social media, according to what we see on social
Yeah,
media.
the Kelly Lauren girl. Darkness is light, moving so fast you can't see it. Her house is gone.
Dang.
Burned, bro, to the ground.
So speak your piece.
Go on.
Speak
what
your
do you
piece.
think?
Maybe you can put your camera down. It looks heavy.
Oh, I know, bro.
No, you can just put it on the couch right there.
Okay.
Yeah, just put it right over here.
Wait. Let me think for 1 second where I'm gonna start from. It's just wait. I'll put it down. How much? You have to leave at 3.
We got solid 20 minutes of podcasting left.
Okay.
And then we gotta wrap
I'm
up.
gonna take. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in 10. I mean, can I take like 5 really fast? I'm gonna really think about how to do this, and I'm kind of like I'm heating up from anxiety right now because it's like something that's very important to me.
Okay.
And I need to just take a deep breath really, really fast. Because
Okay.
my mind's stuck in the last topic. That was good. The Aloha one was great. Is that cool?
Yeah.
This is
We're taking a quick
scary
5-minute in real life break. This will be a 2-second break for podcasting.
I'm about to drop.
So we'll be right back.
Kalea Hop Water is a sparkling, hop-infused beverage with bright, tropical flavors and the refreshing essence of island life. With 0 alcohol, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. Kalea brings aloha in every bubble.
I'm back from a quick 5-minute break in real life. I'm back. I don't know where Etienne went. He went outside and we can't find him. So I'm going to do something I guess we haven't done on this podcast before, to be continued. I don't know when we'll have a part 2 of this episode, but as you can see, he can talk. He has a lot of mana'o. He's very passionate about everything that he does. So we just don't have the time right now to finish it. I have to be somewhere. Jordan has to be somewhere. Etienne is outside in the world wandering somewhere. But at some point, we will finish this talk. We'll get into what he had to say about the Lahaina wildfires. And I'm sorry, we're just going to have to leave you on this cliffhanger. So that's basically how I feel watching the end of season 2 of Squid Games. And I have to wait for that, so you have to wait for this. So I guess I hope you enjoyed the episode so far. I'm figuring this out on the spot. I know Etienne, this is a very Etienne kind of thing. So this is just what happens when you're a mad genius. Things just come up. So mahalo so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the social media clips. We have another great episode coming out next week. I guess I'll just end it by doing it how I usually end it, by saying mahalo, Etienne, for joining us for about 2.5 hours on the Keep It Low podcast. Spread love, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and remember to always keep it aloha.